I don't know why that froze. Off to a wonderful start here. I do want to make sure that disclaimer plays though, so hold on. Oh, and it just did it. Whatever, it's on. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you very much, Mary. I'm gonna have to move that alert thing. Haven't been doing the lives very often, so there's still a lot of adjustments that need to be made. But appreciate you, thank you. But even more so, appreciate everybody for following us over here to the second portion, the live chat and discussion regarding this possible human traffic jam happening in LA. And well, honestly, it's happening all over the world, but this is something that's gone into the mainstream feed. There's a lot of people that have taken notice and started investigating it recently, and it's just something I think that we should definitely take a closer look at. So appreciate you guys. We'll give you another moment or two for everybody to join in, and make sure you slap that like so that it's got a better chance of making its way out out to as many eyeballs as possible. This is the kind of thing that they don't necessarily want people to be paying as much attention to. If you were watching in the last segment, the premiere, you could tell, with the news and with people around the area, the homeless, everybody is kind of trying to dispel the suspicion, dispel people's interest in it. But regardless of who it is that needs help, whether it's somebody suffering mental health issues that is homeless, or if there are indeed children at this location, either way, it's something that should be looked at. The fact that people so easily dismiss and disregard people that and considering that they're considering them less than just because they're suffering from homelessness or heavily into self-medicating and escapism. That doesn't mean that they don't still need our attention, and if they need help, we should be giving it to them. So without further ado, let me bring up this map, and we're going to take a closer look together. Gonna adjust it here for a second. Just give me 2 seconds for me to adjust it. Yeah, that's probably fine, just like that. As long as it's mostly centered here, I think it's gonna be the main thing, so we can all get the full view. All right, so let me bring my attention to the chat here before we begin. Welcome, folks. Seeing some new faces over here that if you guys weren't over in the premiere, no worries though. We'll be going over the whole thing together as a group and discussing and just taking a closer look. It's not. Oh, there we go. Wasn't coming in as clear as I'd like because there is other little messages and distress signals here that are more than just the help. You can see there's a lot of other ones that were more from the past, some smaller ones in between, and it's obviously something that somebody's been trying to bring attention to this location for a long time, because some of these obviously are a bit newer, but you can see that there's been some that have either been dismantled or with weather, rain, whatever, it's kind of washed it away. But we're going to take a closer look. There's what seems to be a tunnel system from one end to the other, which is mighty close to this storage facility. So obviously, guys, if you've been paying attention and you've got the eyes wide open and you've been in the streams, in the premieres, and keeping up with everything, you can see that would be obviously something questionable to check out. Okay, what do you think about the honestly, they're going to do whatever with the Busby thing. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. There's always going to be people trying to discredit and dismiss and cover things up. So, I don't know. I think it's same as it ever was. It's the tale as old as time. Wasn't there in February 2023. I think some of the images are from 2023. Or even prior to. There was some that when you're going down the street, it's like 2015, and you can see some distress signals like on the benches. going down the road and things like that. So we'll be diving into all of it. But obviously, again, like if you weren't here for the premiere, that's okay, because we're gonna be diving deeper either way. But you can see obviously that, like I was saying, how secluded this area is. You know, you've got major highways all around the bridge. There's the canal, also the train tracks going down the one side. So it's pretty much an ideal location if you are wanting to be up to no good and not have too many prying eyes. The foot traffic is fairly limited. Down the one side, it's auto wreckage, little auto repair and salvage shops, mostly just industrial type buildings, warehouses. Definitely not where you're going to see a lot of humans wanting to be, really, like, for how rough the area is. A lot of junkyards, things like that. So then it's even more questionable that in some of the footage here and in the premiere, and obviously we're going to dig into it a little more here live and discuss it, but the mattresses being discarded on the side of the road in and around this area, and you could see some in some of the live footage, the live streamers that were investigating down this area, there were some discarded mattresses. And sure, like at this point, there are a couple people living in and around in trailers and RVs, but for the amount of mattresses that are on the side of the road, you'd think it was outside of an apartment building or something like that. And there's obviously no major housing units nearby. You know, there is sort of this little subdivision here, but again, it's like you're going to go across the highway to dispose of your mattress, or, right? So we're going to dive into it deeper. Here, let me catch up with the chat again. You guys are getting away on me here. This is a discussion, so I do want to be including you guys as we go here. Did it happen so much? Yeah, well, this is it. A lot of the programs that are meant to protect people and protect homeless people, children, whatever, a lot of them aren't, they could use a reform, I guess I could say. I got to be careful how we say it. I know there's a lot of people involved in those programs and services that do really want to help people out, but the whole system in general is broken. The fact that there can be so many bad things happening, so much corruption behind the scenes, obviously something needs to change. That's for damn sure. Backing off, not backing up, like can gather more momentum. Exactly. Well, this is it. A lot of people want you to disregard and ignore people that are trying to speak up. How homeless people, especially if they try to ask for help or they're trying to bring attention to some kind of criminal activity, for the most part, they're disregarded and dismissed, because obviously a lot of those kind of people have mental health issues. They might be self-medicating, having some problems that way. So it's easy to disregard them. They think, like, a lot of people believe that they're less than, and that their opinions, their thoughts, their whatever, it doesn't matter. But obviously we do need to be paying more attention. Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, right? So obviously what we've been doing isn't working if there's still so many problems, so many homeless people, so many people suffering mental health issues, kids being harmed and trespassed against all over the world. There's millions of people or millions of kids going missing all over the world and disappearing into thin air. So, I mean, when you're looking at the 80s, 90s, early 2000s or whatever, for kids to be able to disappear into thin air, it can happen. But now we live in a mass surveillance society, like all over the world, there's cameras everywhere. Like, everybody's got a doorbell cam. So the fact that kids can just disappear into thin air, it's still, like, that doesn't make any sense. So this is why we need to look closer at these sorts of situations, and especially if there are tunnel systems. And when we do know that sometimes these kind of storage facilities, like these containers, are used to transport humans from overseas, where would they keep them? Once they get here, where would they be keeping them? And if they're trying to be covert and they're trying to stay hidden, how easy is it for them to just bring them across the train tracks, right down into the what looks to be a tunnel right here, and then who knows how big the underground system is, if that is in fact what this is, a tunnel system. I guess at this point, people have gone to take a closer look, and it seems that these specific locations, these holes, are now covered up with piles of gravel and dirt. And there were air conditioning units and different signs of human life that were disposed of in and around the area. Somebody had gone and they found children's clothing, books, toys, medications, discarded bottles, pharmacy bottles that used to contain medications anyways. So what was that all about? You know what I mean? It seems that as soon as people were starting to pay more attention to this area, that they obviously needed to relocate whatever it was that was going on under there. Even if it was just homeless people living underground there, even still, the fact that people are being put into such hopeless situations is a tragedy, The New Jersey, yeah, they're trying to discount that, and there's a lot of mental and psychological gymnastics and acrobatics being done to try to keep people blinded, I guess, to these bigger issues. Because again, whether it's people that are adults that are homeless, that have suffered from childhood trauma and therefore had complex issues leading into adulthood, mental health issues, drug issues, all of that, the root cause is a complex childhood trauma is a root cause to a lot of that kind of thing. So this is why we got to nip it in the bud. We got to start listening to these people that are trying to cry out for help and learn from them how we can prevent that kind of thing from happening and continuing to happen, So one way or the other, it all matters, right? And obviously not each individual person. I know I was saying in the chat, well, really, at the end of the day, I don't matter. Ali doesn't matter. Certain people that are coming out and talking, it's not them that really matters at the end of the day. We're adults now. There's nothing we can do about it, about our own childhoods and what we went through. But everybody, the common thread, the common denominator of what they're trying to say is that there's an issue and we need to worry about the kids that are in it now, right? Or people suffering right now. There's a lot of people that go through hard times and they come out and make it out the other side. They find the right support system or the right resources, and they're able to have a functional and enriching life. But a lot of people don't. It's those that have suffered the most that at the end of the day that end up in the worst situations in adulthood, and we need to stop disregarding and ignoring that, right? But welcome, folks. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. Hey, Chris Sean, haven't seen you in here in a while. I see you, Lindsay, Maxie, all you guys. I'm glad you guys all made it over. Seeing lots of new faces, too, though, so that's great. I'm glad we're getting more people with eyes wide open starting to pay attention to this kind of thing. So anyways, I guess we're just going to dive right into it here. Maybe go up and down the street. We can see what different snapshots, the timing of it. Yeah, no, I've made it pretty clear lots of times. This isn't Ali Carter's platform. There's dozens of different channels and different people on different platforms sharing her story as she's requested people to do in her videos plenty of times. And I thought it was pretty obvious, being that my username is completely different, and I don't know, it is what it is. Doesn't matter. I was just sharing her story, following along as she was requesting anybody with a platform to do. So this is what we're doing, or what we were doing. At this point, that became too much of a distraction in and of itself, I think, with so much of the he said, she said, and the drama going back and forth with that. And she's kind of laying low now so that people can refocus on the bigger issue at hand. And that's, the human suffering, the crimes against humanity. That's what we need to be focusing on. Michael's in here, Tig, all the regulars. Right on. One love. Thank you guys for following us over here. And if you weren't in the premiere, thanks for joining. If you have any questions or anything about this is going to be like a live discussion, group project type thing. This looks like it's a bit of a newer snapshot, and it's actually going to be interesting to see what's changed from when I was looking into it. There you go, right away, though, a help sign. When I was on the Google Earth, this billboard had distress signals etched into it, but right away you can see there's a help right here on the side of the road, on the sidewalk. So which is like, obviously for some of these help signs, you can only see them from the sky, but obviously there's help signals being put right on the side of the road. And this is like a major intersection between the bridge and the industrial area. So obviously somebody's making a huge effort to try to bring attention to whatever is happening here. And again, whether it is kids or whether it's people in distress and need, maybe, with the U.S., medical expenses are a lot, and if somebody's suffering and needs help, we should be paying more attention. There's no reason anybody should be suffering to this extent in this kind of society. We're a civilized nation. We have the resources and the money to be able to do something about this, but for whatever reason, it's being sent to other countries rather than to the people living here, and a lot of these people are like veterans and people that serve their country in such a way that afterwards are discarded because they have mental health issues. Wherever you get the mental health issues from, whether it's from childhood or from serving in a traumatizing war or whatever it might be, there's a lot of different jobs, a lot of different career paths that come with a lot of trauma, so we really can't discount these people when they are suffering, and it's a clear sign of suffering when there's, like I said, mental health issues and self-medication, escapism, alcoholism, all of that, right? So right away I'm noticing that the Google Maps version of this is a lot different than the Google Earth images, which I was hoping to get like the most clear footage of everything, and it seemed like Google Earth was kind of the way to be, the way to go about it. But it's kind of interesting that we're seeing a different view here. So I'm wondering if this has just been updated in the last day or so, since I had started looking into it and recording for it, or if it's just that, on Google Earth and Google Maps it's slightly different. Maybe it's a little more updated. Over here, definitely a lot more of the graffiti, and you can tell it's a little bit different. There's new markings and things on some of these buildings, but some of the same vehicles, though. I'm recognizing that these might be people that work at these different shops, though. But definitely a lot of cars for it being just some of these little shops, so it kind of makes you wonder as well. And they do have their own little parking lots, right? So what are these guys doing over here? The thing with the milk cartons, I know that's sort of something that people have started talking about a lot more and paying attention to, and honestly, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be going backwards and studying and analyzing all these things and what's been done in the past to be able to do this kind of thing in plain sight, how it's hidden right under our noses. It's happening. I guess this is still the same, though. The mattresses, this is the same as when I was down this part of the road. But I do want to zoom in more on that and kind of go deeper than I did in the presentation, in the premiere that we just did. That was sort of like the introduction to the situation, and then this will be kind of the deep dive altogether, group analysis. This would be the one to be desperate message across. The flyers in the mail circulate with the missing. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways that it's like, it's hard to tell too if it's for good or for evil. There's so many different resources, and there are good people in the world that want to help and want to make a difference. But because, oops, I didn't want to go all the way back. Oh, that's okay though. But because, it's so hard to tell what is, it looks like it's going to let me go right up here. Oh no, it's a different time though. More when it was being constructed. But all those different tactics that are used, it's almost like the people wanting to do evil will kind of take advantage of these people doing good. It's like the evil operating under the guise of good. They find their way into different organizations and in different positions of power, authority, into different, jobs involving children too is one of the, the biggest ways that some of these folks are gaining access to children, right? So obviously they've always said, like, be there for your kids. If they have an after school program, like, make sure you're there and you know what adults are spending time with them, and make sure, pay attention because there's usually a process. It's pretty rare that it'll be a random impulsive incident. You know, a lot of times there's time taken to gain trust and to work their way up to bringing harm and trespassing against that child. So, I mean, it's really, it's up to all of us. You know, if you see something, say something. I know, yeah, I kind of get repetitive. For those of you that spend a lot of time in the premieres and the chats, you guys hear me say some of the same stuff all the time. But I would rather be wrong and be a little bit embarrassed about a situation than to have taken notice of something and done nothing, you know, and said nothing and have been right, you know. So, as a society, like, we all need to start taking it more initiative, because obviously there is corruption at various levels and there is a lot of evil operating under the guise of good. So it's gonna take everybody kind of waking up and starting to be more active in their own local communities and starting to look into things and looking into what missing kids are in the area and what's being done to find them. Because you get a lot of these missing kids flyers. You've got missing kids on the missing kids website, but then it's like you never see them on the news. You never get an Amber Alert. You never get any information. So what are we supposed to do as people to be able to help that, or to be able to help make a difference? So this is why, you know, we can't sit around waiting for, you know, people to give us direction on it. We you know, each and every one of us, we need to take that initiative, and we need to start looking into things more and you know, contacting local municipality, government officials, you know. The One Love in here was saying that they messaged the Premier of Ontario about it, you know, just to start getting under their skin a bit about it. Like, so what's happening? Where are all the missing kids? What's going on, you know? And even just that, it's better to do something, anything, than to be doing nothing, right? All right, I'm going to try and keep up with you guys in the chat here. I'm kind of just going on and on. As I do. But usually I'm kind of leading the thing, but I do want to keep you guys involved, and I do want to be interacting with you guys. What do we mean by human? It's read between the lines. Human traffic jam. What might I mean by that? I wonder. And I mean, that's the thing, is it's with this corruption, it's like, when it's hundreds of billions of dollars a year industry, like 10 times more than the adult film industry, if not more so. So anybody that needs to be paid off, or anyone that needs to be kept quiet to pay that, is really just pennies on the dollar. Like, it's the cost of doing business. It's same with any drug dealing, gang, organized crime type operation. You know, there's people that will be paying off certain people to have them turning a blind eye. And that's, you know, tale as old as time as well. Like, how do you think gangs operate? How do you think organized crime syndicates operate? And you need to apply that knowledge and what you know about those sorts of things to the human traffic jam operations. Town hall, went under the stage, went down the hall. There was a dungeon. Jesus, that's terrifying, Michael. But that's it, you know, there are underground systems, there's basements, there's tunnels all over, like, everywhere, especially North America, originating mainly because of Prohibition era. And we know that was real. We know historically that Prohibition happened. People weren't allowed to have alcohol. They weren't allowed to sell it. So all these tunnel systems were made so that bootleggers could smuggle it across borders and across state lines. And all these, what were called speakeasies, which were like bars and other meeting gathering areas that were built underground so that people could keep the party going, right? So it all exists, and tunnels and stuff like that are used for drugs and other illicit substances and items to get across the border and across state lines. So why wouldn't they also be using them for even more nefarious purposes? You know, this is where we've got to put connect the dots and start putting two and two together. I'm going to try to go up the other side. Unfortunately, it is such an isolated, secluded area that you can only really get so close to around it. And then when you come to the other side, there's not really much to see. You can't really go down or too much farther. It doesn't let you go down and around this side. So I guess we'll see if we can try and find a different way around. Let me go back to the aerial view here. Because this is like an entrance, I guess. but then right away, like a direct connecting road that you can't go down on Google Maps, you can't see into this area, but it goes right across, right over to the storage unit facility. And if you guys know and you've been paying attention, some of these green shipping containers are ones to kind of keep watch for. And we know that's real. We know that people are brought over, whether they're trying to get into the country illegally or somebody's bringing them for an illegal purpose. We know that shipping containers are one of those avenues to do so. And then they're transported either by road, by water, whichever. Where these sites are exposed, people can make a difference if we work together to stop them. Yes, exactly. I think that this is it. We have the technology, we have the know-how, we have the different platforms, independent news type platforms, that we could be paying more attention and taking more initiative, and whatever our strengths are, or whatever is within our capacity, within our ability, there's no reason we can't be doing something about it. Like I said, at either a local level or, contacting the various whatever, and the authorities related to that, and start asking questions, start demanding answers of why you didn't get an Amber Alert when there's, say, 20 missing kids in your area on the missing kids site, Yeah, but if you look around, like, how isolated this is, like, literally just auto wreckage, there's some big parking lots, factories, warehouses. Like, if ever there was a place to be doing something illegal, and who knows, maybe it's like a meth lab or something under there. Like, it maybe has nothing to do with kids, although there were kids' toys and clothing and everything indicating that there may have been kids kept there at some point, with some people that had investigated it. What's going on there? Something's going on there, and somebody's asking for help, and if you look closer, there's what looks like the word corrupt, LAPD, federal, different words, terrorismo, trafico, help, so what's going on? There's obviously something going on, and if the news people and then the authorities are ignoring it, because apparently it's been there for a while, and this is what the newscopter guy, the Fox Live News, Sky News guy was saying, is, we see that all the time, that's been there for a while, it's just somebody making jokes, it's a joke, it's a joke. Like, people going through this much effort to put this many distress signals, is it just a joke, somebody having fun, and we're gonna laugh about it and make jokes about it? Like, that's gross. That's really disgusting. But you have police department right here, right across the road, air support division, so people coming and going by helicopter all the time, right here. So why are these signals still here? Why has nobody gone to look at it and then clean it up if it isn't an issue? And it does look like, some of them have been moved and cleaned up, but then it's time and time again, people are coming back and doing it more and more. So what is it that is happening? Right? Like, why is it being ignored? Why are the news people making jokes about it and trying to dispel suspicion and just trying to disregard it, right? Coastal areas. Yep, that's something to keep watch for, too, because obviously they got to dock somewhere. And there's plenty of secluded private islands and harbor points and, different ways of bringing people in and out, or bringing drugs, bringing illegal firearms, or whatever. Like, you got to look at it as a whole, the whole picture. If we're able to bring all these other things into the country or across state lines, or, if you look at how organized crime is done and apply that to the human traffic jam, it seems pretty obvious to me. But I know for a lot of people, like, it's right under your nose, but because people are so quick to disregard certain things and so quick to ignore things because of whatever the news or whoever is telling them, then people don't look closer. But we are, reaching more of an awake and aware level in the collective consciousness. More and more people, like, right away as people had started talking about this and it made its way online, like, look how many people went to investigate in person, and the fact that it's average citizens, just regular everyday people, taking more of an initiative and making more effort to investigate something like this, like, that's that's shameful. That's shameful. You know, we can do better. And especially, it's like, it's our tax dollars. It's your tax dollars that are, you know, funding these different authorities and these different law enforcements and different things that are supposed to be helping people, right? But, so where is it going? Where's the money going if this stuff's happening right under our noses? Whether it is a drug operation, or, you know, they're keeping illegal firearms, or whatever it is that's there that people are asking for help for, why would they not be looking into that? You're right there. You could literally walk over. Maybe not, because it's like highway and whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, you're right there. Right there. So why is it still, like, you know what I mean? And again, it seems obvious to me, but maybe just people don't know. A lot of people aren't aware, and this is why we got to talk about it. This is why I got to report on these sorts of things and pay a little closer attention and listen to what the news and people are saying about it, and how quick and easily they are willing to dismiss it when it seems so blatantly obvious that it's something that needs to be investigated, regardless of what it is, whether it is kids, like I said, or otherwise. Oh yeah, I ended up shutting them off because there was something happening with the comments and stuff. So I got a couple comments saying, so I wasn't sure if it was somebody getting ban happy or not. And I'm not saying that you or the other people that were set as mods the other night were doing anything wrong, but I ended up just undoing everybody because we weren't really doing another live for a while. And but yeah, actually, I would appreciate if you can help keep an eye. I think everybody's staying on task here, though, and the discussion is staying focused, and it's not getting too off course here. Hey, BoobTube, trying to tell people what it is. If you listen, California, Nevada. Yep. Well, and that's it, too. How many abandoned mines are there? How many abandoned, you know what I mean, different bases and bunkers and things that exist that are now being used for something else, you know? There's some people that they'll buy a home, a Prohibition-era home, because just for the fact that they think it's cool to have like a hidden door man cave type thing, you know? So there's that. But then what if somebody wanted to use those types of areas for evil? You know, what if they wanted to have houses connected underground with an underground meetup area for some other reason than just to shoot some pool and have a couple drinks? Do you know what I mean? Got to keep talking and sharing. Absolutely. Yes, Brandy, Purple, this is California. This is in LA. Right near one of their police departments, and heavily industrialized area, as you can see. I wonder, I'm gonna see where else. Yeah, how convenient though, eh? Like when I go to grab the little guy to drop him for the street view, you really can't get anywhere too close, and even the places you can, like on the bridge, you can only see so much. So unfortunately, you know, to be able to really fully investigate, you'd kind of have to be there in person. But then some of these people that were going to check it out in person were being told, don't film, don't go in there, don't screw around, like you could get yourself killed. Well, why? Why? If it's just homeless people setting up these help signs and living in and around there, why would you be in danger to go and film it and talk about it and share it? Right? Yeah, exactly, Tada 10. Same as if you can pay to have something advertised and pushed out to as many eyeballs as possible, the same can go for the opposite, that media outlets can be paid easily to not talk about things. I mean, with the Diddy situation, we know because people filmed it and posted it online, so they can't deny it. But we know that people were being approached by private investigators, different influencers talking about the Diddy situation, who are being offered money to change the narrative. Oh, whoever's paying you to talk about Diddy in a negative way, we'll pay you more to talk about him in a positive way, you know? And it's just that simple. You know what I mean? Like, how many people are in a desperate situation that can easily be bought? You know, that for them, they're like, yeah, actually, I don't really care one way or the other. I'll take that payment, especially if you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars, which to somebody like Diddy is like pennies. It's like nothing to them, right? So we know that people can manipulate the narrative. We know that people can buy and sell silence. So this is why we got to be the ones. This is why more and more people need to activate and become aware and have eyes wide open. Yeah, see, it's like some of the timing of when you're coming around the corner and stuff. It's like it's different from different times, different stamps. So again, to be able to go and look at these things in person is all the more important, so that you know what's happening right now, right? Because obviously, from what it seems like now, this area has been cleaned up. That this it became too public. Too many people were starting to come and look for themselves. So now, what the most recent reports on it was from one of these influencers was that there were the gravel on top of the areas that looked like there was tunnels, but they found remnants of human beings. They're like not like that, but like clothes, discarded clothes, books, some children's toys, and other things that indicated there may have been children there. And who knows? I mean, it's a dumping area. There's a lot of dumpster, junkyard type areas. So who knows that maybe homeless people had gone and been dumpster diving and found different clothing items, different things, and they grabbed it and brought it back to their encampment. Obviously, there could be various explanations to find discarded toys and kids' clothes in an area, but again, I would rather be wrong and a little embarrassed than to have seen something really suspicious and not done and said anything, and then have been right, Yeah, if you guys are trying to talk right directly at me, if you do @ and then my name, my username, it'll highlight it in the chat, and it'll be easier to keep track of who's talking directly to me and not just to each other, because that's the one thing. It's hard to keep up with the chat, because obviously you guys are having discussions amongst yourselves as well, which is totally fine. I'm not going to stop you. But if you have a question for me directly, is there a way to analyze the area by slowing down the video of the 3 young guys on this live? Yeah, we can do that too. That's actually a great suggestion, S86. I can open her up and we can go that way about it. I kind of was going to just leave this to what do you guys want to do? If you want to do, because as far as the street view and everything, like there's only so much we can do and see, but and that's why I wanted to include all those different clips and these people investigating in the premiere, so we could get some more information and a little more up close, in person view. Especially, there's like that one part where there's more writing that you can kind of only see it from the side, but there was like more messages written right by the side of the bridge there. For sure, Maxie, and obviously people had started going and doing their own little investigations, so this is why I think probably now at this point is why it seems that whatever was happening there has been moved and it's been buried. The tunnels were covered up and there were air conditioning units and different things that were indicating that it was possibly humans being kept there. You can't really see it here, but somewhere like around here in the video, there's some kind of message that was left. I wish we could get up from the other side. And hell, if I was closer, if I wasn't like a 5-hour flight away from this, I would have been there, like, in there like a dirty shirt, and being like urban explorer on undercover about it, for sure. And obviously without breaking any laws and no trespassing. But I think nothing could really stop you from going up along the canal here. As long as you're not going over the fence or through the fence, it's not a crime, I don't think. I guess it would depend who owns the property in between here and here. I don't know. But yeah, that's not a bad idea. It might take a second to boot up the, because I'll probably just open up the project, so we can just run through it slowly but surely. To use access to trains for, well, this is it. This is exactly it. Like, think about how all the what an opportune location. Like how many different transportation avenues of transportation there are. You've got even just the canal, I'm sure, like a little boat. You got the train tracks, you've got the highways, you've got these storage containers literally connected to the freaking property, and whether they wanted to walk them across or whatever, what have you, it's a prime location to be able to get in and out of there in several different ways, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And again, whether it's something just drugs or illegal firearms or whatever, like obviously that's still a problem. All of that's a problem, right? So why would we be ignoring it? Yeah. Well, and those guys, the three guys that were doing the live stream, they noticed a drone above while they were there. But that's the thing too, is when I was hearing it and looking at this and saving some clips and starting to get stuff together, there were some that I had just kind of sent myself the link, so when I got back in front of the computer to download it, I had it handy. And a lot of the stuff, when I went back to go find it, it was gone already. So whether these people were contacted and told to take it down, or they got scared, or it was taken down like by AI or whatever, there's different ways that things are I don't know, like edited, I guess, after it being posted. So who knows for sure, but there was definitely a lot more being posted about it that when I went back, it wasn't there anymore. Like I said, with that, there's the one clip where they're showing the clothes, the kids' clothes and the toys and everything. That I could not find the original clip for. I could find the original clips of everything else, basically, like just about everything else, but that one particular moment, I couldn't find that, which actually maybe that's what we'll start with. I'll play that first, and then we'll circle back to everything else. It's at different times, which right now I think this is... actually, this seems like it's right now, 2025, map data from 2025. So this is it right now. But if you look, you can see that there's been other historical attempts to put these help signals in the ground, and whether it was washed away by weather or it was dismantled, who knows, but you can see historically, like, somebody's been trying to bring attention to this location for a really long time. And now that the attention's been brought to it, the fact that they were so quick to bury these what look like tunnel entrances, and an air system, there's like a tube going down and it looks like an air system, and in the clip I'm going to show you guys here in a minute, they saw that there was these air conditioning units and different things that had indicated there was a tunnel system there that had the ventilation and had everything it needed to operate. So you can see here it's got one entrance here, one entrance here. So who knows what was underneath there, but with having the air conditioning units and other things, it kind of indicates there might have been people being kept down there. Even if it was an illegal migrants or something like that, like who knows what it actually was, but obviously it was something. And then look, if you look how close that is, like, and there's a road going straight from the storage facility right to it, but then there's the tunnels. So if you wanted to just come hop, skip, and a jump over the railroad tracks, or from if you're coming from the other side, you know, it's really like, wouldn't take much, and then you get them right in there, and then there's an entrance from the other side, and then who knows, it could be as big as the property itself, could be just small in between a little bit, like a little bunker, could be even wider than the property for all we know, right? Who knows what was there before that was dismantled or demolished and became an empty lot. You know, we don't know what building might have been there before, and if there were a basement or some kind of tunnel system underneath. Who knows, right? But all right, give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to flip this over to the video. And yeah, we can go slow through each thing if you want. But actually, I might take two moments here and refill my coffee. I didn't get a chance to in between while I was prepping, and it's near empty. So maybe before I switch that over, we'll take 5 quick, and we'll come back and flip it over. And if we want to come back and keep looking at the map or whatever we want to do, this is like I said, this is a group effort. We're all, you know, here for this investigation. So any of you guys, any of your input, suggestions, totally open to it. But like I said, if you guys are trying to speak directly to me and you're not just speaking amongst each other, make sure to tag me, the @Tesmosis, in your message, so then it'll highlight it for me and I won't miss it. But yeah, let's take 5 just for a minute. It's a lot of information already that I've put in on for you guys. I think I'll drop the address into the chat too. So if you guys want to follow along and have a look for yourselves, on your own Google map in between while we got a couple minutes and just as we're going along here, I'm gonna try to find it. I'll find one to copy paste, like the full address to copy paste, but you should be able to find it with this. I'm just gonna punch it in real quick here. But if you look up also like the Southern Union Pacific Rail Yard, there's the LATC Union Pacific, which actually here, let me just see, because we can get, oh yeah, perfect. There we go. Haha. We can do it. We have the technology. So yeah, if you guys want to start poking around on your own quick for the next couple moments, and then I'll flip over to the videos. But yeah, now is your chance too if you need to use the facilities, or if you want to grab another coffee, or just take 5 to absorb everything, because it's a lot. It's kind of a lot to take in. It is dark. It is whatever it is disturbing. So you know, if we take it in small doses, it's going to be a lot easier to process than me railroading you with so much information. So yeah, let's take a couple moments. Here, I'm gonna put some of those songs on. You guys, when we were doing the human for the children's march not long ago, we had I had some songs that I had prepared for that. So I'm gonna just go ahead and throw a couple of those on, and you guys have a couple minutes, and then we will continue. Oh, where'd you go here? Open with. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it that way. Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta get back in the groove of live streaming. I used to do it a lot more often, so I had a good system going, but I haven't. It's been a while, so kind of winging it as I go sometimes. But we're making it happen, right? All right. No Discord, but if you check the links in the description, I do have a Telegram group, Eyes Wide Open Telegram group, where I've been sharing a lot of free resources and media, books, all kinds of information in there, posting about stuff like this. So if you guys want to actually, yeah, well, you got a couple minutes too to check that out. I have also recently set up the Patreon thing again. I had it before for a bit, but I didn't really, I don't know, didn't really suit what I wanted it for at the time, and it looks like they've changed things up and it's a lot better. So if you guys want to support in that way, there's different features. Don't block me. Who are these people saying don't block me? Kind of like you're giving me a reason that I probably should block you. Asshole. Oh, fuck off. We're going into like, you guys need to stop being distracted. It doesn't matter what that situation is with those people. Doesn't fucking matter. The whole point is that we should be focusing on the bigger issue. There's a bigger issue at hand that we need to be focusing on. So yeah, the Telegram group, though, that's a free group to just join in, and anybody can join. It's not open for chat right now. It's pretty much just I'll post in there, and then you guys can react to the posts. But like I said, there is a bunch of free resources there. And then I did set up the Patreon thing. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with that just yet, but if you did want to support the cause, it's another way of doing it, and kind of gives you some other features and benefits. I'll be fine-tuning it as I go, but so if you guys want to check all that out, the links are in the description. But yeah, I'm going to take 5, going to throw this tunes on, and I will be right back. We'll start with this one. I think this one everybody seemed to like the most.
In the shadow of our dreams so cold, children's laughter echoes, stories left untold, broken toys and whispered fears, fading hope through endless tears. Midnight moonlight can't heal their pain, silent cries in the pouring rain, paper boats on rivers of despair. Little hearts that need repair, little hearts that need repair. Save the children, save their souls, catch the pieces, make them whole. From the ashes, let them rise. hands reaching out for shelter and care, longing for love in the empty air, lost innocence in the chaos and strife. Give them a chance, give them a life. Flickering candles in the night, holding on to dreams so bright. Listen closely to their plea, be the change they need to see. Save the children, save their souls, patch the pieces, make them whole. From the ashes, let them rise. See the world through innocent eyes. Flickering candles in the night, holding on to dreams so bright. Listen closely to their plea, be the change they need to see. Save the children, save their souls, patch the pieces, make them whole. From the ashes, let them rise. See the world through innocent eyes.
All right, perfect timing. Just got back, and the thing finished loading. I was kind of waiting so that the video thing loaded as well, so that we wouldn't be just waiting for it and it doing nothing for us. So that's all loaded up. So I'm just gonna flip her over now. Thank you for those of you waiting so patiently. Yeah, I definitely I want to be able to talk about that kind of thing a lot more. The different techniques and programming that happens in various levels, for sure. Which I think with the Telegram group, I do want to start doing some like live VC type, voice chat discussions and presentations that way as well. Because over there we can speak a lot more openly, uncensored, not worrying about getting a spanking, YouTube spanking or any of that. So that's, the Telegram group, if you join in on that, we'll be doing something with that there. But between Patreon and the Telegram, on both sides, it gives us a little more wiggle room. Where is the... Oh, there it is. Okay, let's get this loaded in here. I might got to adjust it a tiny bit. Each time it's, yeah. Oh, we're not going to need this fuzziness, though, so hold on one sec. I'm going to have to adjust things a little more so that it's, more better prepared every time, so I'm not just winging it. But, like I said, I hadn't really done a lot of live streams up until more recently with the March for the Children. So slowly but surely getting back into the groove of it, and it's good to be able to be touching base with you guys and doing different investigations live with yous in between long form content while I'm working on stuff, because obviously a video that takes a couple hours takes some time. There's a lot to be discussed and looked into in between, so here we are. Okay, here. I do want to start off with this clip, the TikToker that had found some of the clips of the guys that had gone to check it out. Oh, and there was a better view of that. Yeah, no wonder that video got taken down. Might have been the people that did the drone footage. Moneymakers, police, Metro, LA. Oh, okay. So yeah, I want to check this clip out quick first, and then we can go slowly through the other footage that that the folks that were up close and personal doing their investigation. We'll go through that as well. But definitely, yeah, I see you. all of that. And Lindsay, you guys talking about it. I see what you're talking about in the chat. I can't really speak too much on it live, but that's all the kind of thing I do want to be able to talk about more openly. Yeah, the Telegram group is free, and I don't know. I don't know if you can or not. I can try. I will try. I will try. I will add. I will if it will let me. I will add a free access. But either way, pretty much anything, like for the most part, that I'd be posting on Patreon, I will be posting to the Telegram group as well. And then a lot of the live uncensored chats I'll be having will be through the Telegram anyway. So if you want to join that right off the bat, that's kind of the place to be. But for those that do want to be supporting in other ways, I mean, if I can be in a position where something like this comes up and I can make my way out there to do a up close and personal investigation, I think that would be great. And if not otherwise, you know, contributing to other things that can be helping the kids. You know, at the end of the day, it's really about the kids. And unfortunately, like, as much as the money's the root of all evil, you know, you do kind of need it to be able to make different things happen and to be able to focus on this sort of thing 100%, you know, to make it your primary thing. And then to be able to travel and to do whatever needs to be done to do further investigations, whichever. So otherwise, though, too, the best thing you can do as well is, like, contribute, like, if you want to help more about kids, like, doing your own thing, to contribute to, like, school lunch programs, contribute to things that are helping kids in your area, food banks, donate your old kids' clothes to the children and women's shelters. They're all over the place. There's places where kids are in need at, you know, in all areas across the board, you know. So any old toys, rather than taking them to the Goodwill or wherever where they're selling them back to people, take them to the direct place. Take them straight to the children and women's shelters. Take them right to where you know it's going to go directly in the hands of the kids that need them for free. If you really want to do good that way, you know. I know it's easier to dump it in one of those bins that goes to the Goodwill or goes to the Sally Ann or whatever it is in your area, that, you know, that's convenient, but they're selling it back to people in need, and people need it, you know. There's people that need it that can't afford to go even to buy things like that. And there's always kids coming through these kind of halfway houses, these shelters that deserve toys and clean clothes. And, you know, a lot of them, you got a lot of kids that, you know, their shoes don't fit, or they got holes in them, they don't have backpacks, they don't have... I'm going to get upset. I mean, I'm a little emotional about it because it's really sad, you know, and the way the system is, it's not helping the people that need it the most, and it all ends up being just a money grab at the end of it, you know. So make sure, you know, if you do want to help and you do want to do more in your area, there are different ways and, you know, different levels. Like, if you can't donate money to the food bank, if you can drop off just extras, or, like I said, donate your old toys, old clothes, go take it straight to the source. Don't send it somewhere where they're gonna sell it back to people. But anyways, I'm gonna play this clip, and then we'll dive deeper into this. I don't want to get too off track here, but I think it's important to mention that, I mean, as long as at the end of the day everybody's making an effort, doing something, anything that helps for the greater good, like, that's what we should be doing, you know. It's sad to think, though. It's really, like, because you get people that have issues, or they have mental health issues or whatever, and they do suffer homelessness. But then when there's kids involved too, like, you know, it's not their fault. They didn't ask to be there. They didn't sign up for it. It's not something they did wrong to be in that position. Like, maybe somebody made mistakes, made some bad choices, and that's why they ended up homeless. But when it's kids, man, like, that's it, you know. And they're our future. Like, all the kids they all deserve a chance. They all deserve a fighting chance and not get lost in the cracks.
Visiting and talking to locals, and they found the help signs that seem to be easily accessed through a hole in the fence, which is right by a busy road. But on Google Maps, people spotted tunnels that no longer seem to be there. These two guys apparently went to the site and found big piles of rubble where the tunnels were. They found these air conditioning units still spinning, and they found these things that kind of look like cells. They also found a pile of stuff with toys, clothing, socks, some medication with, like, Spanish writing on it. And amongst a bunch of videotapes with Spanish writing on them, they found one tape that said, "Please present to another person." I'm keeping an eye out for updates from these guys from the Vault and also from other people.
Which, yeah, those clips specifically, when I went back to try to find those, could not find them. So I don't know if somebody got scared and took them down, or what exactly the reasoning was that they're no longer online. But it seems like they got too close to the source, you know. They were flying too close to the sun, so to speak. But also, yeah, but just on the topic that I was kind of mentioning, also like toy drives and stuff, like around Christmas time, you know, donating your kids' old toys when they're going to be getting some new toys is it's a great time to do that, to donate to the toy drives and food drives, you know, because that's the thing is, yeah, exactly. Somebody was just saying the kids blame themselves, and the whole concept of Christmas time, and only kids that can afford it get a lot of presents, right? But then in their mind, they're thinking, oh, well, I'm bad. Santa didn't bring me toys, so I'm bad. You know, I didn't even get a lump of coal. I must be bad. I got socks. I'm a bad kid. But just because their parents can't afford to give them as much as some other kids, that doesn't mean the kid's bad. And that's something we need to change also. You know, there's so many different levels to it, so many different layers to it. And, I could go on about it all day, and I won't. We're not going to. That's not the point. We're going to cover this, this situation, this report. But, I just can't stress it enough. Like, there's so many different various levels that kids are suffering and being trespassed against. So I don't know. Do you guys, I guess you guys wanted the other clips. But you know what? Maybe we just run through it again for anybody that had missed the first time around too. And like sometimes when you go back and rewatch some things, you're going to notice new things as well. So I'm going to play this segment first. It's just what comes up first. And then we'll play the next segment with the streamers, the live streamers that went and got up close as well. Yep. Yes, Natalie, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. There's tunnels everywhere. There's a whole network. Like if you look at just what the trade routes were, the import-export trade routes, you know, the prohibition, there's tunnels all over the place that are still there. You know, some of them don't get maintained, and then you end up with like sinkholes and things like that. But I mean, we know that exists. We know that's a real thing, right? So why do people even question that? You get people that don't want to believe that there's tunnels and different things like that happening or existing, but we know that they do. Historically speaking, we know. About 7 miles from Hollywood? I'm not sure. If you guys wanted to check, actually here, I'll drop here's the address. Again, if you guys want to check it out for yourselves from your own maps. And just to see what else it's close to, like go on your own little investigation. I you know, not going to stop you. Highly recommend. Why not? You know, we should all be investigating and looking closer at this kind of situation, right? Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. And thank you for keeping an eye on the chat and staying active in it. But yeah, if you tag me at Tesmosis, then it'll highlight it so then I can see your question or your suggestion, whatever it might be. Which obviously, yeah, guys can chat amongst yourselves too, but if you're going to try to speak directly to me, that'll be the easiest way to do it. But anyway, so I'm going to play this segment again, and then we'll go on to the next one, and we can go slower when there's the spots where they were showing some of the other messages that you couldn't necessarily see in the Google Maps. But yeah, here we go.
A bunch of help signs up on that lot over there.
Oh.
You're not like you can't get in there. In there, you can't get in there.
What's that? What? They're here?
Yeah, is this part of this?
No.
Oh, this is just where you park.
No, that one is a ferry. It's the metro, the train.
So there's no way to get in here.
No.
Okay.
Right here is construction. The guys is the construction workers right here.
Okay.
Over there is a train.
Okay. I was just wondering, because like somebody on the ground wrote a bunch of like help.
Help?
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. I know.
What is that?
I don't know, man. Every time that. It's the big ones, the small oones.
Yeah.
I don't know what is that.
Is it people just messing around?
It's a homeless.
You think so?
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I seen it. Porque the other day, the guys at construction said, "Who's fucking making like that one shit?" You know, because I got a big post.
That's the thing too, though. Regardless of who's doing it, obviously there's something going on there that they're trying to bring attention to. Like, whether it is homeless or it doesn't really matter, they're trying to bring attention to something going on there for a reason. And just because they're homeless doesn't mean their voices don't matter.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I know, and the little ones, I don't know who is this.
Okay.
Really, I don't know who is this.
Okay. No, I was just wondering. All right. Have a good one, man.
All right, man.
Thank
Nice
you.
guy, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you, Melissa Velez. I agree. It's super suspicious, and I hope it is just that it's homeless that are looking for help, which, why shouldn't they have help also anyway, right? But somebody knows something. Somebody's saying something, Traffico, what does that mean, So why is it being ignored? Why are people dismissing it? You know what I mean?
I think I said, why is this? Why is that? Well, I don't know.
You know, like the help signs and stuff. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And what is it? Do you know who does it?
This is the old ones. They've been there for a long time.
Do you think it's just kids like messing around?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't even go in there.
So there it is, the help sign. And I guess over here is where some other things were written, but it looks like it's been kind of dismantled now. At LA Guy on Twitter, he was already here and he talked to a couple people saying that this was done by homeless people or other transients. But still, kind of weird. It's what these people are trying to investigate right now, too. Yeah.
Which, honestly, though, I do got to give credit where credit's due. The fact that people did activate so quickly and get together, and so many different groups of people going to check this out in person, the people showing up with the drones, people trying to get it out there and do their own personal investigative journalism about it and posting it, onto their platforms. Like, that's a great start, that's a big difference than what was happening, say, just a few years ago, I've definitely seen a lot more progress just this past year or so than the last several combined, of people waking up and starting to take action in whatever capacity that they're able to, whether they do have a platform or not, every drop in the ocean of influence counts. You don't have to be an influencer to help be part of the change. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I was really happy to see, is like, just while this guy's here investigating, there's other guys on the other side investigating. And then with the group of the live streamers, that we're going to watch that segment next, they noticed somebody across trying to come down the bridge, that the cops showed up to stop them because of whatever reason, but they shut down the bridge and were questioning these guys coming down the side, which I'm guessing they were also trying to find another way and another viewpoint of this property, right? Which, that's a great start, people taking that initiative. If the law enforcement's not going to, somebody's gotta, right? And if people are nearby and are able to easily access the location, why not, right? So that, gotta give credit for that.
Interesting.
Oh, there's a dog here. Let's see if I can get someone's attention. Hello? Is anybody there?
Yeah, for sure. That's a known thing too. Like, back in the day, in like the golden age of Hollywood, I guess you could say, like back in the 60s, there was a lot of mansions that had tunnel systems that, like I was saying earlier, that a lot of people go and buy certain homes that have the tunnel systems for their own personal use. And then whether that's for good or for evil, who knows, but yeah, like the Diddy mansion had tunnels, the Playboy mansion, way back when, the Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, a few of those actors, they all lived in the same little cul-de-sac together, and all of their mansions connected. So whoever ended up buying those mansions later on, Drew Barrymore's grandfather had a mansion in that area that had the tunnels, because it was more the wealthy and the elites that were able to afford to have these prohibition tunnels put in, and in unison with, or in a cooperation with these smugglers that were trying to get the liquor in, because all these rich people wanted to keep the party going. So who was going to afford to be able to put that all together? It wasn't just the bootleggers. It wasn't just, you know what I mean? Like, it takes all kinds of different people to be able to make that kind of thing happen, and secretly, right? Like, you got to think about how difficult that must have been to make tunnels underground, all up and down different city blocks, under houses, all this stuff, when it was a very illegal thing. Like, alcohol was illegal. People bringing alcohol in and over state lines and so on and so forth was illegal. So how did they get those tunnels and all that in there to begin with, right? Like, they would have had to have the cooperation of different levels of law enforcement and wealthy people, the people making, the moonshiners making the alcohol. So you think about it that way and you look at that whole situation, who's to say it's not very similar with what's happening with the human traffic jams?
Anybody whose dog this is?
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is that, like, Diddy was the equivalent of, like, a street-level dealer with the trap house, where people would show up to do their due. You know what I mean? Like, on the grand scheme of things, and for it being a hundreds of billions of dollars a year industry, worldwide, global, Diddy is just a small fry, like, small fish in the great big sea, right?
I mean, I kind of feel bad for the dog, but I'm assuming his owner is down there somewhere. Maybe they would know who wrote all that, but nobody's answering. Try again. Hello? Hello? Is this your dog? I mean, does somebody live in there? I don't know. Hello? 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 There's a dog down there? Hello? Guys, I don't see the.
I also actually, I don't want to keep cutting in on the clip. I do want to just let it play through and you guys watch. But do you notice the panic in his voice, the shaking in his voice, like thinking, oh my God, that might be somebody that's no longer with us, kind of thing, like trying to get that person to respond, and it's like he's scared, you know, which like. Even if they're a homeless person, that's the kind of care we should have for the people. Like they do need help. Some of them do need health care and things that they're not able to obtain. And if they're just there, no longer with us, you know, somebody should be caring about it. And you can tell in his voice, he's like quivering, you know, a little bit, like, oh my God, like, is that somebody, like, there's just a body down there that nobody's noticing, like all these help signs and all this. And you can actually see in there, like somebody had started to try to say help, to try to put help, or maybe it's just covered, the P is covered there. But again, like huge letters, help, you know, why is there so many distress signals that are being ignored? You know, it's kind of sick that this news people, like the mainstream media people, were like, oh yeah, no, that's been there for a while, it's all right, it's cool, we already know about it, it's no big deal. Like, how could you be that dismissive about anybody in distress, anybody that needs help?
Excuse me? There was a dog here? Is that your dog? What? I'm sorry, what? The dog? Whose dog is it?
The lady right came. They got over there. Got a motor with their housing.
They took him to housing?
Yes.
Somebody rescued him?
Yes.
When did they get him?
From the other side. Go talk to them. The lady right came.
Oh, they already came?
Yes.
When were they here? Like
10 minutes ago.
10 minutes? And they took him that way?
No, go talk to them. They're over there. They're there.
Okay, so the dog went that way with some people?
No. The lady came over here.
Okay.
And I came to me help.
Yeah.
Over there.
Somebody came here asking if the dog needed help. There's a lot of traffic. Just speak up or something. I don't know what to tell you. Go ahead.
Dog.
Yeah.
So over there. The lady came over here.
Okay.
Asking if the dog needed help.
Okay.
Over there.
Okay.
Right? They're all over there.
Okay. With the dog.
I'm not sure.
Okay. They
I'm
can't.
talking to them right now.
Oh, so they're over there talking to somebody right now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the dog?
No,
You don't know who owns the dog? You've never seen it?
no, they're over there. They're all there talking to him right now.
Okay, because he was tied up down here before.
What?
He was tied up down here, yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
By the way, out of curiosity, do you know who's writing all these help messages and stuff?
So that guy named Jose.
A guy named Jose?
Yes,
He's writing those messages over there?
yes.
Why is he doing that? Do you know?
He needs help himself.
So it's just like, is he homeless or?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at, but he needs help himself.
So you see that big help sign behind you? He wrote that?
Yes.
Where's Jose? Where does he live? Or where does he
I have
stay?
no idea where he's at.
But you've seen him before?
Yes, around here. And I told him to stop. He's in the property. He won't stop.
And he won't stop.
Yes,
So this whole thing is just some guy named Jose doing it?
yes,
Okay. And the guys who came to talk about the dog that's no longer here are over there.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Do you know, not this dog, but do you know if they got another dog earlier? They got the other dog? The French dog? Do you know, is it anybody's dog or was it just abandoned?
Which one? Is it the little curly white?
The French one that was over there, I had filmed it and then some people were going to come maybe rescue it. Not your dog, obviously.
No. It's a white and black,
Yeah.
like a Benji dog?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
This guy's like super smart though about the way that he's going in and investigating. Because honestly, like, and it's messed up to say, but on a like, it's kind of natural and it's on a human level that a lot of people care more about animals in need than they do about people, right? So to come and meet them on that level of, hey, like, you have a dog, see, you care about dogs. There was a dog here, you know, kind of leading the conversation, starting out with the dog, questioning about the dog, and then slipping it in there like, so about these help signs, right? Like, he's smart. He's being smart about it because right away, you know, people are a little skeptical when you start coming in about a certain thing, you know, that might get them in trouble because in the next segment we're going to watch, you know, and actually maybe it was this one, I can't remember. In one of them, it's basically saying, like, don't have your camera out, don't be taking pictures, like, you get yourself killed. So what are they trying to hide? What's, you know, if it's just a junkyard or just some industrial plot where, you know, whatever's happening, like, obviously that's an indicator that something is going on. And again, whether it's drugs or illegal firearms, illegal migrants, whatever it may be, meth lab under there, who knows? But obviously something's going on if you're risking your life going there and capturing video or taking pictures, right?
I don't. That was the pizza. She had him with the little house right here. He's over there somewhere.
It was just tied up in the rain.
Oh, that's not fine.
No, but then I heard somebody came here to rescue it.
Oh, I gotta move
Or
that.
that woman told me that. So that's what I'm wondering.
weird spot.
If somebody came by and took it. Nobody knows? Maybe?
I'm gonna see because the pizza's not there. I'm gonna think on that because you know right now. Come on.
Okay, what's the name of the dog? Seuss. Seuss?
Yeah,
And Seuss belongs to someone here? Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I'm talking to myself. Yep, that mute button. I'm gonna have to get a different mic, guys. That happens from time to time. But I thank you for the donation, but I do want to encourage you guys, rather than donating directly to me, I mean, it is still gonna go to a good cause. It's gonna be going to this movement, but I would rather you guys be part of the movement and activate in your own local area. Please go to your local, you know, the food banks, the children's lunch programs, there's abused women and children's shelters all over the place that they could use the donation directly a little better. Donate old clothes, toys directly to the source. You know, I would rather that. Yeah, sorry guys. The mute button's a little, when I go to hit it sometimes it doesn't unmute and then mute. I gotta get a new mic. Maybe that's what I'll put it towards for the next thing. I don't know. But honestly, I do appreciate that you guys are donating to the cause, the movement that I'm doing. But honestly, like, I would really rather it go straight into the hands of the people that need it. Straight into feed some mouths. Go give it to somebody that needs it. Go give it to, you know what I mean? Like, go buy a pizza and give it to somebody's kid that, you know what I mean? If they look a little rough around the edges, I don't know, just something. If you know of somebody in need that's struggling in your neighborhood, something that you can do that you know your money is going to be going directly in the hands of the people that need them. That I would much rather prefer. I do have, like, I did set up the Patreon and a couple things where if you want to support what I'm doing and the movement and, like, give me the ability that, you know, when something like this comes up, I'd be able to actually go to the location and do more investigation myself. You know, obviously, like, you do need some funds to be able to do those things, and that's what it'll go towards otherwise. But I would rather, if you guys went and did something locally, I think that would be a lot more impactful, and being part of the movement rather than just support the movement, be part of the movement, you know? But I do thank you. I appreciate it. And I moved it. I forgot. I meant to move it after the last one came in, and then I didn't move it over. But I have put it now into, like, the middle so that it's not underneath the text there, because that looked a little silly. But like I was saying earlier, I haven't really done the live thing in a long time, up until we did the children's march there a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to be fine-tuning and better adjusting things so that it's a little more smooth, and I'm not winging it every time. But yeah, so like I said, though, if you guys want to be more active in the movement and helping the movement... Oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted it to do. Whoop, there we go. If you want to be part of it, that would be the better way to do it, you know, and then you know where it's going, too. Like I was saying earlier as well, like, rather than donating your toys and old clothes, books, all that stuff to the Goodwill or to wherever, where they're going to turn around and sell it to people in need, it would be way better to take it down to that women and children's shelter and just drop stuff off. You know, they need... Like, there's a lot of kids going without, you know, wearing shoes that don't fit, with holes. They don't got new backpacks. You know, the beginning of the school year is a trying time for a lot of families with kids. You know, they're trying to make ends meet. So when you're doing back to school shopping for your kids, you know, take some of their old stuff and bring it down directly to the hands that need them. Because if you're giving it away either way, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, and I would rather, for me personally, if I'm giving something away, that it go straight, directly, freely into somebody else's hands and not be sold back to people that need it. You know what I mean? So definitely, yeah, that's all I want to say about that. I might have to mention it again later on. I don't know. But I do appreciate, I'm not trying to discount that. I do appreciate you. Angeline, thank you so much. But yeah, just for future reference, guys, I think this is, you know, if we're having a movement and we're going to make some actual change here, we got to start, you know, start at the root of it. Start in your local area.
Like, careful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Seuss belongs to... She has an owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that dog is named Seuss.
Seuss. His name
And
is
Seuss has an own... Because, you know, she was tied up in the rain.
He
Was tied... Oh, I thought it was a he. But
Yeah.
he was tied up in the rain.
Oh, wow.
And so I was filming because everybody wants to know why there's the help sign. You see all those helps?
Oh, this one guy, he puts that...
Is that guy's name Jose?
Yes.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, exactly. Ultimate Entertainment. 100%. Like, if you got some extra that you're able to spend, and you want it to go to a good cause, exactly. Like, to buy some new things, and go straight to the homeless shelters. And especially, like, if you wanted to go in for kids specifically, it's usually abused women and children's shelters where they've tried to escape a bad situation and they need housing in between getting to their next spot. So there's tons of kids in need in situations like that. You know, and just to even donate money to those shelters directly, where, you know, they're providing them meals, providing them lunches, things like that. Tons of ways to put your money to work and you know it'll go on the backs of children and in their mouths. You know, like, that's who needs it the most in those situations. That's who suffers the most when people are suffering from, you know, impoverished situations, disadvantaged situations. It's the kids in those situations that suffer the most.
They told me too.
Yeah, that's Jose.
So
Yeah.
there's a guy named Jose who just keeps putting
He
help.
always, yes, he does that.
And is Jose here?
He's not here, but he's always, like, on that side of like under the bridge, like.
And he just messes around.
Always writes that down. Yes, all the time.
The reason people are probably coming today is because they put it online.
Yeah, no, he's the one that puts it all the time. I'm not, but he puts it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he writes it everywhere. I don't know if you see it everywhere.
Yeah, there's like help and then a bunch of stuff in Spanish.
Yeah,
and,
he puts it. That's supposedly human trafficking.
yeah, human trafficking. That's what everybody's saying online is that they're worried about it. Is it that, or is it like a prank? I guess
We don't know. I mean, he just always, for some reason, it's been years that he's been doing it.
Yeah, it's been on. Google Maps shows it.
Yeah, but we, really, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just always writes that down.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Yeah.
I do not know.
No,
But
I don't. Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one. Yeah. Hey guys, I was here earlier. Do you remember? I was talking to that lady about the dog Sus.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
What?
Why?
I just wanted to talk to her again.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I was talking to over there, where the dogs left.
Yeah.
Do you know the dog Sus? The beagle, or not the beagle, the Frenchie, I mean? Do you?
Do I what?
Do you know the dog, the Frenchie? The French dog? Frenchie dog? White dog?
Okay.
Sus, named Sus?
No, but what about him?
I'm looking for the owner.
Oh, you're looking for the owner? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is, okay.
Did you just come out of him right here? Or where did you come? You just keep walking, or where?
You know, I parked over there.
Oh, you just parked over here? Okay,
Hey,
no,
guys.
I don't. I'm sorry.
No problem. Hey guys, do you know who the owner of the dog Sus is? It's a Frenchie.
What?
A white Frenchie dog named Sus.
Why are you guys asking?
I wanted to talk to the owner.
Where's the dog?
The dog was over there earlier today.
Yeah, it's my dog.
Sus is your dog?
My dog.
The Frenchie?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, perfect. Can I see the dog?
The dog's not around here, dog.
Where'd it go?
It's not around here right now.
Okay.
What's up?
I was going to offer you money for it.
No, it's not for sale.
And it's your dog?
You can say that, yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like, and notice how it's like a very rehearsed thing from all these people, but then they're not really getting it straight. Like, it's kind of there's like variations of the same story in a way. And now this guy's like, oh, it's my dog, but oh, it was Jose's dog, but Jose's not here now. Oh, it's mine. Like, like, just the responses are kind of like, sort of, yeah.
That dog is highly loved.
Okay.
That dog.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be Zeus too, not Sus or whatever. But he's almost like mocking them though in a way. Like, yeah, is Sus here? There's something sus going on. You know, it's almost like he's this guy's kind of clever. I feel like in a way, like with the way that he's approaching it with the dog, and then he's saying Sus instead of Zeus. It's like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's trying to say.
As that dog, someone will die.
No, but do you know the dog was tied up down there earlier today?
Where?
Wait, I want to go back there for a second. He said someone will die. Like, if I missed what he said just before it, so I just want to make sure. Because at some parts here, they're saying something like you're going to get yourself killed or whatever. So I'm wondering if that's something similar to that. Let me go back 1 second here.
Someone has that dog, someone will die.
No, but do you know the dog was tied up down there earlier today?
Where?
It was tied up down there by the overpass.
Yeah, the owner was not far away from me.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to talk to the owner of that dog.
Yeah, she's not far away from me, her dog at all times. Yeah, the dog's not for sale, bro.
Okay, but I'd like to talk to her though.
Yeah, she's not here right now.
She's not here. When's she gonna be back?
She don't live here.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Fuck. You see what I'm talking about?
No,
No. You don't know.
I don't know. So she doesn't live here
Are
though?
you recording, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For my own
yeah,
safety.
Hey, check it out, dog.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start
For your own safety, you might want to turn the phone off, dog.
Okay.
So we don't get down like that over here, dog.
Yeah, see, he's like, okay, but yeah, you're filming, like you're gonna get yourself into trouble, right? So what? From what? Like, you don't get down like that down there. And then there's this sign. So that was the next thing. And there's this sign that it looks like they've put it up now because so many people were coming to question about it. So they're if you call them over helps work, you're the problem. You know what I mean? Like somebody went out of their way to put up a sign to try to dispel suspicion and and there's like okay, well, but it's right near an LAPD police station and there's people living right there. So what are you talking about? Like, it's kind of suspicious. They're saying that help is a person. At first they were like, oh, it was Jose doing it. Like the story was changing, but then it's help is a human being. That's a person. And oh, they're just putting their name everywhere. Like, notice how the story keeps changing, but obviously they're going out of their way to try to dispel suspicion and to drive people away from looking into it because too much attention was brought to it. Like, that seems even more suspicious to me than for them to not say anything at all. Okay, and then it comes back to that one clip. I'm going to play this again. The streamers, they did a live stream investigation, and there was a couple things that they captured on the camera that that you could see it a little more clear. And actually, now that we're doing it this way, because I was going to play it through, so I added some added the fuzz and stuff to it. But here, actually, I'm going to grab the like a full original clip, and then we'll play that so that you can get a clearer view. Somebody clipped all over on YouTube, had grabbed it from their live stream and posted it, so thank you to them. Shout out to them. So yeah, let me just see, how does that line up in here? I guess you can't really see the edges so much, but you'll be able to see the main part of it a lot clearer. So we'll go this way about it. And actually, I might skip this ahead a bit, because for the first bit, like, they're trying to find the location. They're kind of dinking around up and down. Oh, yeah, okay. So here, as they were arriving, like, same with the other clip, the other investigator guy, as they were getting there, he could see other people coming and looking, trying to gain access to the property to check it out or get a different view. On the other side, same with these guys. Like, so it shows that a lot of people were getting activating about it and wanting to go check it out, which is great. That's great to see. But notice how quickly the cops show up to stop somebody from checking it out versus doing anything to try to help the people that are there. Like, that's on its own, again, suspicious, right?
Oh my god. Yo.
Wait, is it this is law? We are really just a bunch of dumb fucking streamers. What are we doing? There's two cops. There's two cops. We are really just we're a bunch of dumb streamers, bro. That guy's trying to jump in. Oh shit.
Yeah, so this guy was trying to go over the barrier to try to get it, to get in there from the other side, to try to get either whether he was actually trying to get onto the property or not. He may have just been trying to get a better view from the canal there, right? Or the bridge. I think it's the bridge and then the canal. Either way, trying to get a different view, because that whole other side, like, you have no access to it. You can really only go down the one side and can see from the bridge. But this guy trying to go and look at this, the cops showed up right away. They shut down the entire bridge or the highway thing there. I think that's the bridge. But they shut down, they block it off, shut it down, and immediately going to talk to this guy that's just going to look at it, but are completely ignoring the help signs and not going to investigate directly. Why? Why is that? Let's think about it for a second, guys. Why would they respond to just somebody going to look at a place and not actually check out the place that everyone's showing up to check out? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's... I mean, I don't really need to say it. You guys get where I'm going with that, right?
Why is it bugging?
Try to zoom in on you. Bro, the whole highway just got shut down.
So I guess it's like, but right before the bridge, the highway that leads on to the one bridge or down the one side. I don't know. I'd have to look at the map again, but obviously one of those thoroughfares that comes through in and around that area, right?
Oh my god, bro.
Dude, what the fuck are we doing, bro?
They actually shut the entire highway down. Man, what's going on, bro? There's more cops.
Stopped traffic to stop a guy from going to get a better look at the place or to gain access to the place. Like, what if he's just a homeless guy trying to get back to his home? Because they obviously don't care about all the homeless people there. They all got there somehow. People under the bridge, people up and around, right? So why? Like, it just reeks of suspicion.
I should have got my puffer, bro. It's mad.
That's right. That's your parked his car the wrong side. Dude, it's a fucking highway. What are you talking about? Something's going on. Why are they just talking?
Like, really, maybe the guy pulled over because he just needed to take a whiz. Maybe he was just trying to go down the side to take a quick piss. And, you know? Like, why would they show up so quick? You know, is there maybe some other entrance to something down there? Or, you know, like, wow. Questionable. So suspicious.
Alright, yo, I think we went the wrong way. Wait, maybe
Dude, that dog keeps barking at us.
I don't think it's this bridge. I think it's back that way, Ron. I think it is too. Let's go. Oh, shit. What? Oh, it is over there, I think. Why? Look,
That's one big dog, man. That's one big dog.
Holy shit.
I've been telling y'all, bro.
Oh my.
that's a fucking horse. Yo, that thing would destroy us. That would kill us all.
We can take it on.
Oh my fucking god. That thing.
That's possible too. Yeah, no, fair, because it is like the one way, but he's up the side there. Maybe he took the wrong, could be, but then the fact that they showed up that fast either way, like, and he's just on the side, like maybe he was having car trouble, so he like, there was nowhere to park on the right side, so he did a U-E to pull over to the other side to pull over, like if there was no shoulder, you know what I mean? Like it could be any number of reasons that the guy is there, but that the fact that the cops showed up like immediately, it's still questionable. Still makes me wonder, you know what I mean? Like, why are they all over that, but they don't give a shit about all these people that need help, apparently? Like, whatever the help is about, why are they responding quicker to some guy on the side of the road, whatever the heck he's trying to do, versus, either way, right? Like, it still stands.
Kill us.
Bro, I've been telling
Yeah,
you.
that guy's driving on the highway the wrong
How
way.
much I would have bet his name is like Cupcake or some sweet shit?
Oh, yeah, okay, so they mentioned it. He was going the wrong way on the highway. That's fine. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But, again, maybe he had, like I said, had to pull over, and there was nowhere to pull over on the right side, so he pulled that UE to pull over, you know, could have been having car trouble. I mean, he is in the vicinity of a ton of car wreckage, repair shop, you know, salvage yard. You know, he maybe is on the way to get the car repaired, and then shit was stolen out, or who knows. Regardless, he's on the side of the road near a suspicious area, and look how quickly the cop showed up about it. Like, you're in need of help, you're on the side of the road, and you need a mechanic or whatever. How long you gotta wait for anybody to show up? And what are the odds of a cop showing up to, you know what I mean? Like, it's still suspicious.
I'll give you $1,000 to that.
Are you fucking crazy? I value my life and my fingers. I just got corners to the entrance of the place.
Can we make it out alive, yes or no? Is it there?
He said it is here. Yo, I got hit. No, look. This is...
And I mean, it is a pretty scary area to be going into and checking out. So I think, like, with these guys doing the live stream of it, that was probably the smartest thing possible, because then if anything did happen, or they were approached by cops or anybody, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's watching, people are watching. So that definitely is, if you're doing this kind of thing, that's the safest way, I would say, to do it. 100%.
the cords right here for the entrance.
Like, that's what I was saying. It was right where we were.
No, this is
No.
this is similar ETA.
ETA.
No new G's.
I just break the fuck. Okay, so let's start.
Okay, maybe I'll skip it ahead a little bit till they get there. But there was some spots where they noticed like the help signs on the sidewalk. So hold on, I'm gonna go. We'll skip ahead a bit so we're not gonna listen to them dink around here. Okay, they're like getting to the corner, so we'll play from here.
It's this right here, right? You got a BMW, you saw time. it's this. It's this right here. It's that bridge right there.
Like, it's probably just a car backfiring or something like that, but it kind of sounded like there was like gunshots in the background there for a minute. It's definitely a kind of a danger zone, I would say, for a couple of kids, but having the live is, you know, obviously they're doing it smart.
Entrance of the place.
Check this real quick.
This is the entrance over on that side.
Let's just check this real quick.
Okay. We should probably not be there.
If you're scared, drop a I'm scared. Yeah. Sure, fuck it.
Yeah, your ass is getting caught if someone comes. You're slow as fuck. Wow.
I'm just practicing.
Wait, practicing?
I'm practicing.
There we go. They're coming up to the bridge now. I think in a moment they find help on the sidewalk here, and then there's another message that you couldn't see from the aerial view or in any of the other videos that was put up to the side. So it's like the person, whoever was doing it, recognized and realized that there were people coming to investigate and look at it. So they put up a message. Like, I want to try to read it, and if I can't read it in there, I think it might be the same one that was in the other little clip from the TikToker, so we'll try to slow that down and have a look there too. Like, obviously somebody's trying to bring attention to something, right? Like, that, I think there's no question about that, one way or the other.
What you want to do?
I'm behind the screen and I'm scared. It's just help. They crossed out the peak.
Alright, I think we're getting serious. What is this?
What is this?
Joe, look under you, Drew.
No, help.
Look under you.
Look at this.
Oh my god.
This is it.
Yeah, so it must have been pretty current. The one that's on the Google Maps versus Google Earth, I think, is updated differently or something. Or maybe, I don't know, I'd have to maybe go back and check on the Google Earth, but that helped. We could see that from the street view when we were there. So this is obviously, like, you can get a timeline of what was where, you know, what was there when, and where it's showing, what people can see from the Google Maps and so on and so forth. So, I mean, like, either way, though, there's enough indicators. It's like an SOS signal kind of thing. Like, if you're on your boat crashed on an island and you're, you know, the SOS, save our ship or save our souls, whatever, right? Like, help in big letters everywhere, and not just that can be seen from above, but this is on a street level view. You know, people should be able to see that are walking by, driving by, and yet it's taken, you know, people bringing attention to it and putting it online and bringing more people to that area, that it seemed like, you know what I mean, that anything is being done or changed. And maybe it's not the right way to do it either, because if they did get too much attention, so this operation was moved and the holes recovered or whatever, like, maybe that's not great either, because then it's like, if somebody could have gone and investigated and done something about it, now they can't, and they're off to the next location or whatever. So maybe this isn't the best way, I don't know. But I mean, the fact that anybody is actually doing something, that people are having more initiative, taking more initiative, paying more attention, eyes wide open type thing, that is still progress, right? But, you know, maybe there is a different way to go about it in future when these sorts of things come up. I just, you know, but we're at the precipice of it. This is where we start. This is where we, you know, start getting together and people start paying attention, and then where we go from there, at least it's a beginning, right?
Yo, look, there's a giant one with pipes. Look. Wait.
It says help pipes. The big black pipes.
And then see here, there's like to the left here, there's like more writing, like a newer message that couldn't be seen from the fairly up-to-date aerial view.
Yeah, look at the small ones. The small ones say writing. What's going on right now?
Wait, can they see? I can't see what they're seeing.
Oh shoot, I was muted. I was gonna say, you can't really, it's not clear enough. I wanted to try to zoom in.
There's someone who has a drone.
I wanted to zoom in on the writing that was on the ground there near them, but it's not clear enough. So I'm gonna wait and see if there's a better shot where they get a little closer, and I want to try to see what that says. But I think that is the writing that was like a drone shot of it, which it's kind of funny because it's so real world fucking situation here, where these guys are here getting their angle of it, and then you got the drone shot coming through. Like, this is all good as far as, you know, independent journalism. You get all the angles. you know, and then you do your own research, you draw your own conclusions, but just the fact that it's getting out there is the main thing, right? But I definitely want to try to read what that says on the ground. But I think it is the same as in that the TikToker shared the clips. But I wish that I could have found the originals to those clips that TikToker was using, because I couldn't find that anywhere. But those guys that went in, and whether they had the drone or wherever they were getting the shots from, like, that was some crucial information, I feel like, as well. The smaller writing, it seems like a more brand new thing. So it's like somebody, like I said, somebody realized that attention had been brought to the area, so they were really trying their best to communicate something, right?
Yo, look, someone. What is she saying? What is she saying?
The dog that was here is not here anymore.
Yo, there's a drone. I can't zoom in on it, Chad. Do you see? Oh my God. Look at my thing. Look right up there.
Oh my God.
Or they're watching the people that are coming. I don't know. Could go both ways. Could be either way. It might be the security of the area keeping a watch or something, and maybe, you know, I don't know. You got to consider all things, though, right? There could be many truths happening simultaneously.
There's a fucking drone.
Holy fuck. Y'all.
But look at this too. Look at these. Bro, these say words on them. What are they?
There we go. Maybe you can get a better, yeah. I think it might be the same as what's in that TikTok, though. So we'll go back to that TikTok and see if we can get a more full view of the writing. Hey, Steven, welcome. Yeah, I don't do a lot of live streams. I do more so the live premieres than the live streams, but I do want to start doing more of them, especially with stuff like this, so we can do kind of like a group investigation discussion type thing. But just getting the hang of it again, anyway. But welcome. Glad to have you. And to all the new folks, anybody joining that hasn't been here yet, I appreciate you for keeping your eyes wide open and taking interest in important situations, important issues.
I don't know, but look, it's right out of sentence.
Yeah, so it's, hold on, let me see if we can try. Money, FBI, I think it is the same writing, though. So we'll go back to the TikTok too. We'll let this finish. It's almost done, this segment, and then we'll go back to the TikTok that has a bit of a better view of that writing. So maybe it was, though, that original person, it was the drone, and maybe it was illegal. They had trespassed in the airspace, so cops had got them and made them take it down, something like that. Who knows? But yeah, this was the one segment I couldn't find was this, but this person on TikTok had salvaged some of the clips, so we'll go back and check that out one more time, because that was pretty crucial information as well, with like finding kids' shoes and toys and clothing, like definitely remnants that humans had been there. And again, whether it had been homeless just taking it out of a dumpster and bringing it there, like doing some dumpster diving, or finding it on the side and bringing it to this location, and, you know, they realized it was kid stuff and they had no use for it or something, like, okay, fine, but still, again, that's something that should probably be checked out. Like, one thing that it's homeless adults here, but if there are children on this premises and in this location and, like, in the middle of friggin' nowhere, like, there's no actual housing around, there's now these people with the RVs and stuff, but you know, probably worth looking into, one way or the other.
Yo, the entrance is over on that side. If we really if we want to do some dumb shit, bro. If we really want to, like, do some dumb shit, like, we can go in over here first before we do it.
Wait, should we ask this guy what he knows about it?
What do you think?
You think it's homeless people?
Yeah, I mean, she would tell you it's everywhere, and to focus, keep an eye out in your local area, that this is happening everywhere, right under our noses, hidden in plain sight. Like, that's all she's been trying to say the whole time, and to focus on the kids, and then everybody was getting really distracted with all the he said, she said, and whatever back and forth drama. But overall, like, this happens everywhere, in every locale, every city, big and small. There's millions of kids going missing every single year worldwide, and into thin air when we live in a mass surveillance society. So how do kids disappear into thin air? Where are they being kept? Where are they being sent to? Who is obtaining them? Who are they being brought to? Who's buying them? Right? That's the stuff we need to be paying attention to. I'm not... What? God, y'all are confused. Anyways, that's the whole overall point. Any survivors, there's thousands of people that have been trying to talk about this shit for years. worldwide, you know, like from all over the world, they've been trying to talk about it, and it's always the same. There's the common denominator of the overall message that it's like, just start looking in and around your area, start paying attention, like don't ignore these things. If the news is trying to make a joke and laugh about it and slough it off when there's clearly giant hope signals, distress signals being sent to the fucking to the sky or whatever, like why are we not paying attention? Why wouldn't we want to pay attention to that? Why wouldn't we want to look further into that? You know? So that's the whole point. Oh shoot, my thing's glitching out here. Hold on. Are we still here? Are we still live? Oh, yep, we're good. We're good. Okay. Just want to make sure before we keep going here. My goodness. We're getting to it. They're on to us. I'm just kidding.
It says Trafico on it.
Bro, there's also on the freeway if you go, I think it's the one right here, bro. On that side, it also says house.
On that side?
Yeah. These are the face boys, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Hey. Yo, look at all the walls.
Yeah, I gotta double check now and make sure, like, so I'm not talking to my freaking self. I definitely, that's gotta be on the list. I get, you know, or I maybe open it up and just, I don't know, it's like it's loose or something, the mute button, so when I go to hit it, it sometimes doesn't unmute or mute, and whatever, it is what it is. As long as it works, I guess, is the main thing, but I definitely, I'm, like, double checking every time now, like, peeking, like, okay, did it go? Is the red light blinking or no?
What's going on down there?
Oh my fucking wardrobe.
But then also again, like, where are all these clothes coming from? Why are people dumping clothes on the side here? Where are all the clothes coming from? And because again, when you look at the aerial view and you look around, like, there's not really anywhere any residential housing. There's no apartment buildings or anything. Like, so why are their mattresses being disposed of here? Why are there clothing items being dumped around? And again, yeah, the homeless could be bringing them there, but like maybe the homeless are choosing to be there because there's so many things being dumped there that they can put to use, you know, or I don't know. But it just kind of makes you wonder, once again, like, why are there mattresses and clothing items dumped at the side of what's like a commercial industrial type lot, like an empty lot basically, that's sort of a dumping ground, sort of got construction stuff. So where are the mattresses and the clothes coming from? Because, you know, it's already a difficult space to get into. I can't imagine that these homeless people are bringing the stuff from another location and then dumping it there. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know. It just got me questioning. Yeah, you're good. Thank you, Linz. You've been good at that, keeping on and letting me know that you can't hear me. So that's helpful also. I appreciate. But I have been taking a look to make sure, because it's like almost getting worse and worse now. It wasn't so bad before, but now it's like almost every other time.
Yo, I really gotta pee.
Ah, yeah, good eye. Good eye, S86.
This is scaring me.
What's that beeping?
They got a couch down there.
That's where the dog was. In the video.
What am I just gonna drive by?
And it definitely, like, if the homeless people were bringing it there and then to use, like, why is it just thrown over into a pile like that all over willy-nilly? You know what I mean? Like, if they'd brought it in to go through it or whatever they were doing, like, it just doesn't make sense. And, like, a couch, all this stuff, like, where is that coming from? Where is it all coming from?
We probably get caught in the crossfire as well.
They're selling help in those big plates these days.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm freezing my dick off. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that's just a homeless person doing all that.
Well, this is it, right? Like, usually there's services that go to clean these sorts of things up, right? So how often is there clothing items and mattresses and different things being dumped there, right? But then also goes to show how many people just don't really care about this area because it's industrial, because it's kind of a rough area with the homeless, whatever, like, nobody cares, right? But then that's also a perfect location if you're going to be doing stuff that you want people to not pay attention to, you know what I mean? If you're doing some crimes, there's a reason why it happens in areas like this, right?
All that writing, yo, we could
I'm just letting you know if you wanted to. I don't know what that drone is, but you could.
I mean, that's also very possible, Linz, but it's like up and down the strip, right where that location was where the RVs and stuff are now, but they weren't there before. It was just the cars and different things there before. So then that's questionable. Like, why is there now trailers and RVs and people living there? It's like they've been put there to come and tell people what's going on there, or that was the exchange of them, these homeless around, for them to be quiet and to kind of dispel the suspicion. Is like, here, we'll give you guys a trailer or RV, you can just live here, but if anybody comes by asking questions about blah blah blah, like, you know what I mean, like, you really, all of it is questionable one way or the other. And then, like, yeah, why are there piles of mattresses around? And if it was, like, it would go to a junkyard, right? Like, they would send it off in one big load over to the dump, right? Like, why are they getting dropped to the side of the road and by where these RVs and stuff are? Like, I can't imagine these people living in RVs are going through 7 mattresses a week, you know what I mean? And then dumping them. Like, and why, just, there's a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions. If that, you know.
Jump that fountain.
Yeah.
All right, let's play rock, paper, scissors.
Is this illegal, chat?
There's literally a hole in the fence right there.
Yeah, you could jump it right here.
Yeah, there's barbed wire though.
No, you can run on top of this and jump that easily. Yeah, and then fucking hurt your legs.
Yeah.
All right, bro, chat. Let's take a vote. Who should jump in?
No, there's definitely a way over here to get in, bro.
Yo, it's starting to rain now. You can definitely get into it. Yo, what does that shit say? It says money. I see it says money. You see that?
Oh, money makers, maybe? Money, I see KERS.
I kind of wish they got up and, like, stood on the one pillar there to get a more of a clear view of this writing. But like I said, I think it might be in that TikTok clip, so we'll go back and check that too in a moment. But because that, where he's looking over, like, if you just climbed up and stood on that, you'd get a much better view. But yeah, money makers, yeah, it's kind of tough. But that's a newer little installation, even if it is just for fun. Like, maybe we should be checking into it. Like, why? Like I said, that somebody maybe realized, like, that there was attention being brought to this area, so they put up another little message to try to let people know.
Maybe if you go up like this with it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, let me see. Check. See if you guys.
Here, hold on. Let me go back. I'm gonna go slow it down a bit too, try to get a better view here. Moving something, money maker. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to see it.
KERS. Maybe if you go up like this with it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
No, let me see. Check. See if you guys can see what it says. See if you guys can see what it says.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest, like.
Hold on. Let me go back. That was almost a clearer view, so let me, we're gonna nudge it along. Oops. No. Come back here. There we go. Try to, go, like, frame by frame here and get a clear view. Hold on. Alright, zoom in a little closer here. Like, almost kind of telling them, like, they're moving them, like, pay attention, what's going on? Because I think that one word's moving. Moving every money. Yeah, see, I don't know if you guys can see it too, like, if you guys can see it a little better, if you're watching from the TV maybe, because I've just got it on my computer screen here, but if you're watching from a TV or something, you can get a little closer. Money makers, FBI. Like, so for I'm sorry, but, like, they're trying to, and it's not that there's not any corruption. There are corrupt people in different levels of authority, you know, and law enforcement. So if they're trying to say, like, this would explain why it's been ignored and why people aren't really looking into it, because if there are corrupt people involved, you know, which is really the only way some of these operations are able to exist, you know, it's like with the mafia and stuff like that. Like, they've got informants and people paying people off, and they've got different ways of getting away with things, right? So why would it be any different with something like this? And you got to think, like, with like, it's the same as with drugs, like drug dealers, but this is something that can be sold over and over again, which is also why it's such a big money maker. Talk about it, like this is saying it, money maker. And then it's trying to say something, obviously, you know, and I'm not going to say one way or the other, or try to suggest of any guilty parties here. Like, obviously got to be careful, like this is all allegedly. It's not, can't get confirmed that it's any facts. You guys got to do your own research and draw your own conclusions. But you know, like, why would something like this go ignored for so long if that's really, you know, that's it, kind of, that would explain it, as if, you know, you guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to fully say it. This is the kind of stuff we should discuss more on, say, Telegram or whatever. Just for safety's sake, everybody's safety's sake. But definitely they're trying to say something, and it is. That's like the biggest money maker of all. It's a hundreds of billions of dollars a year industry, and they can be sold over and over again. And you got to think too, if they start young, think about how many times over they could sell them, and by the time they're, you know, young adults or late teens, young adults, they're like a worker for life. You know what I mean? Like, those are the people that end up having like a pimp situation, and they're on the street and they're doing street work. You know what I mean? But where did they come from? A lot of those kids were abused. They were abused as kids, and that's why they end up in that, on the street like that, right? Like, or something happened, whatever. Like, a lot of people don't choose. Like, they didn't grow up thinking, like, this is what I'm gonna do as a career. This is what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be selling my body when I grow up. Like, that's not fucking real life. So obviously it's some unfortunate situation that led them there, or they were, as children, something was going on, and that's just the life that they're stuck in. They're stuck in it. There's almost like, you know, it's maybe not, I can't say forced, but kind of forced at that point. It's like no other way for them, because that's all they ever knew, especially if they were born into it too, right? Like, you got to think, people doing the street work also can have children, right? So, like, there's so many layers to this. There's so many more layers to this that lead to XYZ, and it's so easy to dismiss and ignore a street worker or a homeless person or whatever. But why don't we stop and think, like, they were all children once, and how did they get there? Why did they get there? Maybe there's something with the system that's fucking broken that led them there, and maybe we could do something different. Maybe if they're crying out for help, we could actually take it seriously instead of getting on the news and making jokes about it. Haha, it's just somebody making a joke. Haha, laugh at the homeless people suffering. Like, that's sick. Like, what kind of sick, narcissistic cult matrix do we live in, man? Fuck. Anyways, sorry, I'm not going to keep going on. We'll finish this segment here, and then we'll go check the TikTok, and then maybe we'll take another 5-minute break. Because it is a lot. Again, you know, you got to take time to absorb this stuff, because when you really start putting the pieces together and connecting it together, like, you see more and more. Once your eyes are open, you're gonna see things differently. It's a whole new landscape, and then you start to consider things, and it's a dark world, man. It's a dark place to live, and like, even for me, I gotta step back and take breaks in between. Like, especially with the JonBenet deep dive thing, man. I've had to take a day off here and there to just recharge. You know, when you're so thick into the darkness, it can start affecting you mentally. So for you guys too, I don't want to go too hard right into things and too blatant flat out about it, because, you know, we really should. You should take it in small doses and make sure to be able to absorb and digest it, and not putting your head right into the dark world, you know, completely all at once.
I didn't know.
Yo, that guy who had the M3, that's Sweater God. For real? He said he knows how to get in, but he's banned on Twitch. He can show us. No, you get it from there. Over there. He shared a photo.
Oh, the former CIA asset guy, Sweet, J.R. Sweet, is that what you're talking about? I think I know which one you're talking about. It might be another one. I'm sure it's not the only one too, but I think that's, if it's a clip that you've seen in some of my other videos, that's probably the one. Yeah, we could, I've posted that in the Telegram. Actually, you know, that would be one I would maybe need to go through and censor a bit to be able to do a live stream like this. Like, that wouldn't end up getting, and like to clip it up and stuff too, because it is kind of a lengthy interview, and I just want to take all the safety measures possible, and to Like, maybe we save it for a different time, but if that's what you're talking about, I did post, that is posted in, yep, short, curly, black hair, kind of a pale, gaunt fellow, tall, skinny. I just, yeah, like, because he goes really into detail and stuff too, I think, I would want to double check exactly what he says, because I've used little segments of it for videos, but, like, I'm very careful in how I do that, because, like, things just end up getting blocked. If you come out saying certain things, or in such a way, it just doesn't get anywhere, you know, like, it ends up being suppressed, and if we're going to go through this and do this investigation and get it out in front of as many eyeballs as possible, we gotta be tactful, I guess is the word. But if you're interested in that, I can repost it too, so it's fresh in the group. But if you go into the general Red Pills chat area of the Telegram group, which is the Eyes Wide Open Telegram group in the link in the description, I did post that in there, and some of my older videos about certain topics are in there as well. I just want to be careful and make sure we're following all the guidelines and policies so that we can get this information overall out to as many ears and eyes as possible. Because, you know, a lot of people try to talk about this stuff, but it's like, it doesn't end up making it anywhere. It doesn't get anywhere. People don't end up seeing it because, you know, it is, you know, you guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I just want to be careful on coloring within the lines here, you know? Because it's only really the only way that you can get the most momentum with it, the most traction with it, rather than just talking into the netherverse and spinning tires, you know what I mean? Oh, you might have to refresh sometimes too. Sometimes the thing's just kind of messy. Just technology.
He's in the fucking place. Oh, he was. He was in the booth. It's not Money Maker, bro.
Listen, you wanna follow me. If you wanna go in, follow me.
My phone's wet.
Yeah, and I wish there was more clips from this too, because I'm not sure if they did go around to try to get in or not. They were talking about trying to find a way in, and seemed like they were planning and talking about the hole in the fence and stuff. So I don't know though. Like, I didn't see the whole live, and I just found clips of it, right? But kind of wish they had the fuller segment of this. I'm gonna have to see if I can find it maybe, and I'll post that in the Telegram group or something too. Like, if there is a fuller, longer version of this live stream somewhere. I just don't know. I don't know. I wanted to put it together and get it out as quick as I could, because this was the this recent thing for this week. So yeah, I didn't want to take too much time trying to hunt down, you know, other portions of it when we could get the main thing out, as it were.
Saying make Drew go in.
No, Sweater, is it over here, right? It's over here?
Sweater, you gotta text someone else, bro. My phone is, I can't type.
But yeah, like I said, after this segment, I'll take another couple moment break, and then we'll come back and circle back to the TikTok clips that were showing more of what was found on the property. Somebody had made their way onto the property, and there was some other aerial view of that message that they were trying to read just now, because I'm curious. I'd like to know what the heck that was saying. Because what we can make out, obviously, it's like they're trying to communicate with the people that are showing up to take a closer look. And they obviously, you know, even if it is a homeless person doing it, they're probably afraid or are being ignored by law enforcement when they go to try to report it. So they're trying to find whatever way possible to bring attention to something, whatever it may be, right? So I don't think that should be ignored, you know?
Yo, guys, I think somebody's hanging right there. Stop.
Hold on, I'm gonna just skip ahead here a little bit. I think this might be coming to the end anyway, and they're just kind of talking after, because they don't go into the place. Oh yeah, no, they make their way down here. But again, I think they got spooked. They realized they're kind of in over their heads, and they were getting a little worried, so they didn't pursue it much further. So I will play this last couple minutes here of this, because there is somebody that yells to them, and they're kind of right in that little area for a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, there's someone in there. There's someone in there.
Yeah, well, oh, good point. I see you now. Very good point. Like, if we can have footage of kids in detention centers and what after school click bang situations, and you know, they show kids on the news all the time for other things. So when they rescue them, if they've supposedly rescued a bunch of them, why don't we see that? You know. And I know there was some report that like 75,000 kids were located and found, whatever, this past week or two or whatever. Okay, so where's the footage of that? And does that negate the fact that hundreds of thousands of kids right now are being torn away from their families and lost in the system? Because this whole thing where, okay, there's going to be kids that were born in the U.S., and if their parents are sent elsewhere, where do you think those kids end up? Right? So let's actually take a minute and talk about that for a moment, because, you know, I don't know if we can even really talk about that too much on here or not, but that is something I've taken notice of, and some people were, I got a couple comments about it. Oh, blah, 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 so-and-so is already doing something about it. Look, already 75,000 kids this week were found. Okay, cool. But does that negate the fact that hundreds and thousands of kids are now lost into an already overburdened and broken system? Because you hear a lot of horror stories of kids in different care facilities, and, you know, I'm going to try to word this very carefully, but you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, I'm sure. You guys are smart. Everybody's pretty wide awake and aware here, so... yeah, let's talk about that. It's like, I want to look like a hero, but also in the back door, let's send 100,000 kids in the hands of, you know. Ooh, I mean, and those are already people that are willing to take payment to take in kids, right? So, what's stopping them from accepting a larger payment to borrow those kids for a few hours or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, and especially little ones that can't communicate. And then you got to think, okay, some of them can't even speak English yet because they're little kids, but especially ones that if they're a different foreign ethnicity, they probably don't speak English at all, right? So even if they have the words to say what's happening and get help, like whether or not they're actually going to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of layers to that. There's a lot of layers. And yeah, hey Breezy, good to see you in here. Yeah, like, why don't we see that then? If they're rescuing all these kids, why don't we see them? You see them in the detention centers, in the migrant centers, and all this other stuff. You see them after the things happen, certain things happen, but you don't really, you know? And when they turn up in containers, and they turn up in these different things, why do you get, like, 2 news things about it, and then it's hushed super fast? Nobody hears about it. There was, I was seeing something the other day, actually, where this woman... some border crossing lady had come across, and it was a transport trailer, and in the back there were kids that didn't make the trip. I guess we'll just say that. They didn't make the trip. They didn't get through in time. It was a hot day, and it's so fucking devastating, man. But this woman had discovered that, and she went and was talking to the news and made reports and whatever it was to the authorities, and she mysteriously was no longer with us the following week. And the whole thing was basically like, okay, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know how much I can really say about that, but you guys know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Like, that this is the stuff we got to be paying more attention to, because it does quickly, you know, get buried, get silenced. And that's the things that people need to realize, like how much of an issue this is, how widespread it is, how many kids are just being lost in the transportation part of it. Because if you're coming from, say, whatever, southern to the northern area, whatever, you're coming up through these hot territories, the temperatures, and they're in there for days to get from point A to point B, and say they get held up at a crossing or there's traffic or whatever, those few hours can be life and death, right? And that alone, can you imagine? And then there's a bunch of you in there, and all of you are trying to stay alive, and they're, oh shit, you know, I can't even, I'm not going to go into too much detail, because it's making me nauseous, sick to my stomach just thinking about it and talking about it. Like, it's awful. It's fucking awful, but that's the truth. That's reality. We know that's a real thing. We know that happens, you know, so why is it so hard to believe or question when these different places turn up, you know, and people want to deny it or they want to debunk it? They're like, oh no, that would never be happening. Well, where do they end up? If they do make it across, they do make it into a different location, where are they holding them? You know what I mean? It's not like they're just like, Anyways, I'm gonna get mad now. I'm getting nauseous and mad at the same time. It's not gonna help anybody. So I'm gonna finish this segment, and then, like I said, yeah, we'll take 5. I'm gonna take 5 for sure. Cool down a little bit, because it's like I wish I could just shed it from the rooftops and be like totally unhinged about it, but that doesn't help anybody either. Like, I don't need to get cappied. Somebody bust a cappy in my butt. You know? Anyway, like, when you get too unhinged and you get too crazy about it, then nobody takes it seriously either, right? It's so much easier to debunk it and call somebody crazy when they're getting crazy about it and getting all worked up about it. So we do want to stay calm, cool, and collected, but know that it's boils my blood and turns my stomach all the time talking about it, thinking about it. And I'm sort of almost jaded a little bit to it and desensitized, because I do this kind of thing and read into this stuff all the time. But it's you never get used to it. You never get there's never a time where you're not sick to your stomach about it, when you really know and you really understand what's going on. Anyways, okay. I'm going to finish this segment, and then good timing to take a couple minute break, I think, before we go back to the TikTok that showed a little more of the aerial view and some of the other messages. The smaller messages you can't really see from the Google Maps. We'll circle back to that, but I'll finish this segment, and then we'll all take 5. Grab coffee, just take a minute, use the facilities, whatever you got to do. But I think there's only a couple more minutes left of this anyway.
Hello, sir.
How's it going?
See, this is on years ago. Yeah, you said you want to go?
You finish the entrance?
Yeah, he probably got a weapon.
Bro, it's so wet.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point they kind of were like, we don't know. We don't really want to approach these people. I think they're kind of talking to them. Okay, yeah. Well, let me go back. I'll play it a little bit more. But I think at this point they pretty much are like, maybe we better just stay away now,
Pre-dying.
Can we interview him?
So you want to ask him if he's down for an interview?
Yeah, go, bro. Go ask. Go ask. Let's go. The more we stay here, the more we.
Is there any chance you'd like to do an interview for our documentary?
Uh-oh.
You say come here? Yo. I ain't gonna lie, you got that gang.
Get out.
Like, that's a nice truck, too, and these are pretty nice RV situations. If these people got this kind of money, why are they choosing to be here with it, is another question, So they're sort of supporting what we were saying earlier about things were given in exchange to some of the people living around there to improve their lifestyle in order to stick around maybe and just kind of keep people quiet or divert them or keep an eye on things versus, do you know what I mean, what we were talking about earlier? But because, why would all these people be here like that? I mean, maybe they work there, could be, but it just seems like a pretty strange place to park a really nice RV and to be in with a nice vehicle. That's all I'm going to say. And it does, right? Looks brand new. Let me go back a little bit and you guys can see. That's like it's like a fucking $70,000 vehicle, easily. Oops, I went too far. Hold on.
Yo. I ain't gonna lie, you got that gang.
Get out.
Oh, no, I went too far ahead. Here. Look at that. That's like a brand new, even maybe 40, I don't know, I don't really know, depending, I guess, on the year or whatever, but like that's a nice vehicle, pretty brand new looking, right? And then even behind, there's newer vehicles where before, in some of the Google Maps thing, you could kind of see some of these other vehicles. They look familiar. Hold on, where is he going? Let's get another view here. No, come on, let's look at the friggin' actual stuff. You went fast. So, yeah, some of these vehicles were already there before. We reckon those are familiar. But then all that's new. The trailers and everything are new. And if there were pretty much, like, up-to-date map footage, from what we could tell, because the help and the certain things that they can see are on the maps, like, this is brand new. All of these people getting these RVs and trailers. And then now we've got a guy in the fancy truck keeping a watch. Like, I wonder what kind of business would have the kind of money that would be giving away RVs to homeless folks. And you know what I mean? Because, like, why would they be there? Why would they be parking it there of all places even if they are, like, they work there on the site or whatever and they kind of just live there? I don't know. It just seems like to be surrounded by all this garbage. And, you know, if you got money to afford that RV and that truck and that whatever, why is that the spot you're hanging out? You know, you could be in a Walmart parking lot with that shit and have free Wi-Fi. Right? You can park anywhere. You're allowed to park overnight at Walmarts. I don't know, maybe not in the States. I know in Canada they can. But so of all the places, why are they camping out right there with this fancy truck and these pretty brand new looking fancy, like that's like a $75,000, maybe $100,000 vehicle. Maybe not now if it was used or whatever, but like an RV like that's not cheap either. You know? And this one looks pretty brand new. The one in the back, the blue with the blue stripes. Like, huh, right? Right? You guys picking up what I'm putting down? And then also, exactly. And then also, maybe it's to go from point A to point B. Because when you look at the aerial view, that little parking lot and then that other entrance to the tunnel on the other side is right adjacent, like parallel across, whatever the right word is for that. I don't know which one. But you know what I'm saying. It's like diagonally across from the storage container facility. Right? So, I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not saying that these people are guilty of anything. It's all allegedly. Like I said, do your own research, draw your own conclusions. But for sure, especially now. See, you guys know. You already know. It's expensive. It's not even the trailer like that is like a $30,000-$40,000 even just for like a 20-footer. You know. Red flags, exactly.
See, this is fun. Yeah, you say you want to go? You said it's the entrance. Yeah, he probably got a weapon.
Yep. Yeah, we've reviewed that as well, and it was in the premiere, the LA Guy 310. Yep, I included all that already too. We're going right down to the thick of it, the nitty gritty. Yeah, told him if you want to be safe, you turn off the camera or whatever he says. Yeah. Yep. Thank you though for the pointer, Isaac. But definitely, yeah, we've kind of reviewed it twice now. For those that were here for the premiere of the report, I kind of did a little report on it, and then I've led into the live chat discussion about it to dive in deeper together. For sure, I wanted to include everything that I could find about it. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate it. If we didn't know about it, that would be helpful for sure. But yeah, man, we're doing the whole as deep of a dive as possible. And then after this, like I said, we're going to take a couple-minute break in between here. But then when we circle back, we're going to watch this TikTok again because I couldn't find the original clips from what this person did a TikTok about it. But it showed a lot more of what was on the property that was really suspicious. And we want to try to see those words. There were some words that these guys couldn't really read them from the bridge. But it was like a new installation of more information aside from like the giant help things. It looked like a kind of a newer thing, like as if they'd realized people were starting to pay attention and coming and checking it out, so they were trying to communicate. For sure, we are on it.
Bro, it's so wet. Pre-dying. Can we interview him? So you want to ask him if he's down for an interview?
Yeah, go, bro. Go ask. Go ask. Let's go. The more we stay here, the more we.
Is there any chance you'd like to do an interview for our documentary?
Uh-oh.
You say come here?
Yo.
I ain't gonna lie, you got that, gang.
Get out?
Say get out.
Say get out.
These poor kids, they're like, yep, don't gotta tell me twice, I'm out of here. They were already kind of spooked, and I don't blame them, man. It is dangerous. This is kind of danger zone, for sure. If it is something that's an organized crime syndicate, whether it's to do with drugs or illegal migrants or weaponry or a meth lab under there, who knows? It's all danger. Hey, Special K, welcome. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of that. So we'll circle back to this, TikTok here. Oh, no, that's not what we want. Come back. This TikTok. It looks like they could kind of, hold on. Maybe that was just the, can't really see it as much. I want to kind of, I wonder if I can find this other thing, if somebody else re-uploaded it. I had to look around for it for a while, but I couldn't find it. But we'll take a closer look at this. It seemed like in one of the shots here, one of the frames, there was the, Money Makers, Police Metro, Yeah, so we're going to take a closer look at that when I get right back. But we are going to take 5 so we can have some time to digest and absorb everything that we just covered. I'm going to use the facilities, grab another coffee. You guys can do the same. You got 3 to 5 minutes to do so. And then we'll continue our little deep dive investigation here as a group.
Tiny footsteps in the dark of night, innocence lost to a shadow's fright. Where did the laughter disappear? Mother's cry drowned out by fear. Hope is whispering through the pain. Sunset tears in the pouring rain. Echoes of childhood faint and gray. Stolen dreams drifting away. Bring them back from the edge of dark. Return the light, ignite the spark. Hands that reach through the veil of sorrow. Brighten the world for a brighter tomorrow. Broken hearts on a broken street, where innocence and nightmare meet. Silent prayers for a safe return. Candle flames in the night they burn. We won't forget, we won't retreat. Every name a heartbeat in the beat. Raise the voices, let it be known. We reclaim what the shadows own. Bring them back from the edge of dark. Return the light, ignite the spark. Hands that reach through the veil of sorrow. Brighten the world for a brighter tomorrow. Darkness cast a heavy shroud. Lost souls in the bustling crowd. Little faces gone astray. Innocence fades to gray. Crying out in the silent night. Lost in dreams that have taken flight. Where did they go? Who's to say? In the dark they've lost their way. Shadows lurking in plain sight. Evil masked by flickering light. Tender hearts taken too soon. Lost beneath the cold, cruel moon. Crying out in the silent night. Lost in dreams that have taken flight. Where did they go? Who's to say? In the dark they've lost their way. Shadows lurking in plain sight. Evil masked by flickering light. Tender hearts taken too soon. Lost beneath the cold, cruel moon. Crying out in the silent night. Lost in dreams that have taken flight. Where did they go? Who's to say? In the dark they've lost their way. Shadows lurking in plain sight. Evil masked by flickering light. Tender hearts taken too soon. Lost beneath the cold, cruel moon. Whispered prayers for their return. Candles flicker through the tears we seek in vain. World so heavy, heart so light, searching ever for the light.
And we're back. Make sure I'm unmuted here. Okay, we're good. Freaking mute button sometimes. Rochelle, for the recap, I guess you guys kind of were given a recap in the chat there, but if you missed the premiere, like the full report presentation, you can check back on the channel page. That's the most recent video. We did a live premiere, kind of a little bit of a chat discussion, but the full report is there, and then this was like, we're kind of dissecting it further and investigating together as a group. So if you missed the live premiere, that you can go check out. We'll give you the whole full recap if you're interested. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna replay that TikTok clip where it kind of, I don't know, I feel like she's just showing the, I wonder if I can find like a, actually yeah, let me look quick. I had a few of these TikTok people that were, or these Twitter people talking about it. There's another video here. Hold on. I'll see if I can find it, like an image of it or something. Because it looks like that's just, it might just be an image. I don't know if she's found the clip of that part of it. So we'll play through, and while we're playing through, I'll have a look. And see if I can find some more other people getting involved and showing media about it, showing pictures, different pictures and stuff. Whatever we can find here. We'll keep digging deeper for another little while, but it is already getting to be kind of late here, and I think we kind of got as deep as we can. But I do want to find out what what the full thing is, what it says. I guess it is this guy Jose is apparently, this is who they were saying is doing the signs and whatever. So maybe that part is true. But who is this Jose guy? And then they said, oh yeah, no, they came and picked him up, or oh he blah, blah, blah. Like they kind of were dismissing it, but you know, kind of makes you wonder as well. Like, well, so what happened to Jose? Like, did he like, was this a risk to his life to try to do these signs and to try to put this message out? And then next thing you know, he's gone already by the time people got there. Like, and that's within moments, you know what I mean? Like, people are starting to report it and talk about it, and then all of a sudden he just disappears, and they're like, oh yeah, it was Jose, but he's not here anymore. He doesn't live here. I don't know. You know, so that whole thing has been kind of questionable as well. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and we'll watch this clip. But I think, like I said, I think we pretty much covered it as deep as we can. And I want to encourage you guys to, like, take a look deeper into it yourselves. I can post the address once again here. Here, it's in the chat, the address of the location. So if you want to go on Google Maps and have a closer look yourselves. But check it out on Twitter, check it out on TikTok. People are talking about it, and you're getting different angles, different people posting about it. I was only able to find so much in time to prepare this for you guys in a timely fashion. But really, you know, there's nothing stopping you guys from looking deeper and doing your own investigation as well, looking closer, and seeing what else you can find as far as other people, other footage, other coverage.
Talking to locals, and they found the help.
Oh, I don't know if that was not the beginning. Hold on, it was where that snapshot was. One sec.
Tons of people have been visiting and talking to locals, and they...
Yeah, that's literally it. It is a picture, and she kind of just like goes, FBI wanted moneymakers, police metro. Maybe those are the names of the people, though, that are responsible. I don't know. That kind of just adds a little more mystery. So I don't know if you guys can look on Twitter maybe and find more about that. But obviously somebody's trying to say something. There is obviously something going on there. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of what, you know?
Visiting and talking to locals, and they found the help.
And let me see if we can turn this up a little more, because she's kind of talking low, talking quietly. Oh, maybe that's as high as it goes. Hold on, let me see if we can enhance it a little more.
That seem to be easily accessed through a hole in the fence, which is right by a busy road. But on Google Maps, people spotted tunnels that no longer seem to be there. These two guys apparently went to the site and found big piles of rubble where the tunnels were. They found these air conditioning units still spinning, and they found these things that kind of look like cells. They also found a pile of stuff with toys, clothing, socks.
See, this is like that footage. I would love to be able to find that, and maybe I'll have another look. I'll keep looking, and if I can find it, then we'll do a follow-up stream about it. I'll post it in the Eyes Wide Open group. I'll keep you guys posted. But this footage, I think, you know, there's a reason why it's difficult to find. You know, there's something going on there, and whether, like I said, whether or not because it was a trespassing thing and maybe they got picked up and were forced to delete it, or who knows what happened. That's footage I wasn't able to find the original of, but thank goodness some people were able to salvage clips of it, and you can find it on TikTok and Twitter as well. But I definitely want to try to find the full version of this, because I think this has got the most damning evidence of all of the investigations that we were able to collect and watch tonight. But yeah, all the links are in the description if you want to join in on the Eyes Wide Open Telegram group. That's free to join. I did also add the Patreon for whatever, I don't know. I'm not really sure about it yet, and I don't really like going out and asking people to give any money to this kind of thing. Like, I would rather them go in their own local area and help, you know, with children's food drives, lunch programs, things like that. Donate to a cause that you know it's going to go straight in the hands of the people that need it. But I did set it up because with stuff like this, I mean, if I did have the funds to be able to get on a plane and go and investigate this in person, I'd absolutely be all over it, like a dirty shirt, right in there with it. But I'm not really in the position to do that, so I'm, you know, doing the best kind of investigating and reporting as possible. But if I could be starting to do that kind of investigations and going right to the heart of the issues when this kind of thing comes up, you know, that would, you know, I think it would serve the greater good, you know, in a way. But mainly the Telegram, that's free to join, and I do have I've been posting a bunch of free resources, media, articles, things in there, books, different things that you can access free, completely free. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is in the description.
Some medication with like Spanish writing on it, and amongst a bunch of videotapes with Spanish writing on them, they found one tape that said, "Please present to another person." I'm keeping an eye out for updates from these guys from the vault and also from other people.
As always, do your own research. Yeah, and it's just playing. It's playing the video that that premiered, right? So I think that's probably. I think we've gotten as deep into it as we possibly can at this point. It is already kind of getting late. I don't want to keep you guys too long away from your own lives and your own children if you have them. But definitely start having a look into it more yourselves. Keep your eyes wide open. You know, any other things you see about this, like a lot of the time it's quickly dismissed and quickly buried for a reason. You know, like with earlier on when we were playing the clips from the or I guess in the premiere, we didn't play them here, but the clips from the premiere, if you guys want to go back out and check that, it has like the full coverage. But the news people basically making fun of it and joking and kind of like dismissing it and making people like disregard it, you know. But I think something like this, you know, we got to be looking closer, whether it is migrants or homeless or whatever, whoever it is that needs help. Somebody needs some freaking help. And I have a VCR. So if I'd picked up that tape, I would have been all over that, and I would have cleaned it up, done whatever. I believe in preserving physical media, so I would have been able to do something with it and salvage it in a way if I'd been able to be there and been the one who found it. But I did not, and I really do hope I can find the original footage to that segment, because definitely I think there's something more to it. 100,000%. Like kids' clothes, kids' shoes, things like that. Like, that's so suspicious. So freaking suspicious. But yeah, you knew it. Yeah, there's a little delay, so it wouldn't have, yeah. But yeah, that's something I would have been all over that. I would have had it packaged up, like, safely, too, and, like, shipped it to myself, probably, just in case, rather than trying to bring it in luggage, just in case. You know what I mean? Like, I would want to be super freaking careful to make sure that it got from A to B. But, stuff like that, man, like, you never know what could be on that. You never know what kind of message is trying to be sent. You never know. You never freaking know. But anyways, yeah, I think we'll just call it. I don't want to be getting too repetitive either, because obviously once I post this, everybody can check it out and see the full thing, and again, do their own research, draw their own conclusions. And I think that's the main thing. Like, if everybody started looking a little closer and started discussing and looking into things in their local area, you know, if you saw something on the news and you heard about it for like an hour, it came on, and then you never heard about it again, you know, that's probably exactly where we should be looking. So yeah, if anybody's got, I guess we'll just do questions. If anyone's got questions, comments, concerns, because I kind of was still in between trying to keep up with the chat as we were going through this, but now you've got full undivided attention. We'll leave it on the please stand by screen, and if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, now is the time. But I think, like I said, I think we pretty well covered the long and short of it here. And then yeah, post it around, share it around, tell your friends, tell your family, you know, like, just, this is a good fight. This is the good fight to end all good fights. And it's going to be up to us, you know, because with there being so much corruption and so much money being made, you know, it's hundreds of billions of dollars a year industry, so the cover-ups and the payoffs are just a cost of doing business. It's pennies on the dollar, you know, same as when Diddy was sending private investigators around to try to silence influencers, right? And we know that you can, not only can you pay to advertise and promote something, you can pay to hush something as well, right? So right on. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I see you now, Drea, everybody. I appreciate it. Right back at you. Just thank you for being here. I'm here presenting, doing what I got to do, but it takes all of us. You know, every drop in the ocean of influence counts, and you don't need to be an influencer to be part of a wave of change. You know, it's gonna take everybody, all of us together now. It's 99% versus 1%, right? At the end of the day, we know. Yeah, 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. Oh, I appreciate you for sticking it out and being with us. See, I knew it. It's already getting late for me. It's not so late, I guess, for the West Coast, but on the whole other side of the world, I know it's getting pretty late for everybody. So yeah, get some rest. Got to stay rested and recharged too. You know, we're not good to anybody if we're running ourselves ragged in this either. Yeah, it takes a village. Absolutely. Give a rundown of what bids will be coming next. That's a good idea. It's really going to depend. It's, you know, whatever comes across my feed in some cases, like this kind of just came up. But right now I'm working on the long form deep dive of the JonBenét, the part 2 of JonBenét. We're going right into the deepness of the SA angle. That part of that, a lot of that was suppressed and ignored back in the day. And there's a lot to it that I've never really seen anybody reporting on. So I went and did that first part, which was kind of the introduction. And it's all the same kind of common thread, you know. I guess that's as much as I want to say about that, because you guys, you'll get it when if you watch the video, or, you know, you kind of picking up what I'm putting down, because you can only really say so much. But when you see it all together, the way I've put it together, and with the part 2 that's coming, it does get a lot darker, I will admit. What else? I am trying to catch up some of the other series, the Dark Hollywood stuff, that kept hitting brick walls at the time, and, you know, there were certain things I was trying to allude to, but it would just, the timing wasn't right. Like, people weren't as aware and awake just yet while I was doing it in the first place. So I kind of, like I said, hit a brick wall with that, but I do want to follow up and catch up with the Drew Barrymore next part, and the Brittany Murphy thing. I want to redo that and update it and kind of circle back to that, because it does tie in with some Diddy stuff and this human traffic jam situation. It all connects, so everything coming up, it all really connects. It's all in some way relating to the great big elephant in the room, and whether it's about how young people, teens, are taken advantage of and manipulated and exploited in the industry, or just in everyday average life. You know what I mean? I want to cover all bases. And it all shares a common thread, you know, so if you guys are into that, that's what we're here for. So make sure you're subscribed and click the little bell, and yeah, I don't know, it really just depends, Lindsay. That's a good point, and I love that idea, but I really don't know what is going to come next, because with the JonBenét thing, I've been having to take some breaks in between and really, like, recharge and put myself in a more positive mindset in between, because it gets really dark, and it does impact your mental health a little bit. So, you know, just as much as how I'm trying to be careful of how I present things and present it to you guys, I got to be careful for my own self and give myself time in between to to recuperate the mental sanity, because it is all insane. We live in an insane world, guys, and really that's my crusade for the common denominators of truth. So what we're here for. So yeah, I appreciate. Maybe I'll try to think of like a, get a timeline going, because if I'm gonna be starting a post with like the Patreon and all of that, I do want to be a little more organized and keeping you guys up to speed. But I kind of just go where the rabbit holes take me. Certain things come up and I feel that it's important, so I'll take 5 from another project to jump on, like for this, for example, just came up this week. So I got on and did a quick thing with it, but for some of the longer form content, you really never know, because like with the John Bonet thing too, I just keep finding brand new rabbit holes that connect to other rabbit holes, and I want to cover it all, but you got to find the limit and know when to pick up on one video and end it and then start a next one, because it might end up being a 3-part series by the end of it with the way things are going. List the names of the song. Oh, these are AI songs I put together from the children's march that we did. So they don't have a name. They're not by anybody. But actually, I did mean to do something with them. You guys had mentioned it before. A few people in the comments and everything too, that they liked the songs and where to find them. So at some point, I'll put them together and have like an album thing, and I'll upload that for everybody. And then any proceeds from that it'll just go towards the cause, kind of thing, because they are free for. I can do commercial use because it's an AI generated thing. I paid for the pro version, so I'm allowed. So we'll do something with that, and like that's another way that just listening to that, it kind of is helping the cause in a way too. But it is pretty moving. Like honestly, I was pretty surprised with how well they turned out, how like impactful in depth and realistic sounding. But yeah, the bouncing around, it kind of helps too. Like you back your way out of a rabbit hole for a minute and explore another one for a bit, and just not going too hard or too deep into any one thing all at once, because I think there's a fine line between sanity and less sanity. You can kind of drive yourself mad into paranoia and whatever. It just can put you in a bad headspace when you're in it all the time, right? So I do move myself around a bit and try to yeah, for sure. Yeah, like for what obviously, like I took some time and for what I was looking for, and explained it in the prompt, like to give a good thing. I guess it kind of depends too. You can get some stuff that sucks coming out of the AI songs and whatever too, the AI generated stuff. But I for even still, for what I did to make it happen, it didn't take too much. So I'm also pretty pleased with the results on that. So I'll maybe generate a few more and get like an actual an album's worth. And then maybe we'll do something with that. Because, yeah, a bunch of you guys have been talking about it. And I agree, like, especially the Save the Children one. Like, that one stood out, I think, for a lot of people. It's like the highlight of the group of songs. So we'll do something with that. And if not, actually, I might even, I'll make it so it's like a downloadable thing, too. Maybe I think I can do that with Patreon. And I dropped a couple of them, or maybe it was just the one. I don't know if I did the other one. But in Telegram as well, I drop stuff in there all the time. So, yeah, because free information should be free. All this stuff should be free to the public, is my figuring. But yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, we'll give you the next couple minutes. But then, yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. I think this was, like I said, a well-rounded deep dive. And then on top of the premiere we did, the full report, I think we got it. Yeah, or even Spotify or something. That's a good point. Yep. There's all kinds of avenues to do it and give it away, and it be available to the general audience. Hey, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. Love from Canada to Canada. Appreciate. But yeah, so everybody, thank you for participating and joining in the discussion. Thank you for keeping your eyes wide open. We're going to be keeping our thumb on the jugular of this ugly head of society. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Because I don't know, I think that was it. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, okay, actually, I'll wait another minute or two. But I think I was good. I think we got all the questions out of the way. Everybody's already over there doing their investigations. Alrighty, guys. Till next time.
Is a whiz of a whiz, and that'll always go.